How strange.
Slight delay on it. Or maybe, I don't know, it's having a nervous breakdown because I've just updated my graphics drivers. Could be that.
Could
It's
be
fine,
that.
I had to update it and
you're
for all
live.
that for the Oculus to work properly.
You're live.
Okay. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Crabby D&D. I am here with my players: Kat,
Hi!
Damian,
Yo.
Kay,
Food.
and Vinny.
Hello.
We are missing a Romulus. He will hopefully be here at some point tonight, but he said he'll be late. And we haven't got a Lloyd because he has no keyboard or mouse. These things happen, apparently. I don't know how, when you're moving a computer, you forget your keyboard and mouse, but I'm not going to question it. So, yes, hello and welcome.
Nice to scare me.
Nothing new or interesting that I need to announce. So, are you all ready?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll answer on our behalf.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent hesitation. Wonderful. I feel like we're missing something. All right, we missed last week, and now we're missing 2 players. Those events aren't related at all. However, we'll get them back at some point. Just got to warm up the old Revivify. Last time, our party of adventurers, Kat, Damian, Kay, Lloyd, Romulus, and Vinny, went to the Flameguard garrison, researched a bit, found some stuff, and got ready for the road. With Zaker's crossing ahead of them, they began their travels. We'll just have to see where it goes from here. So, you've all gathered up your things, and the day is yours and ahead of you. The open road, the fields and pastures otherwise covering the horizon, as the weather today is rather nice.
Excellent.
Brilliant. Well, very quick note, obviously, from my side. I'm gone up to the abbots and I've given them some letters.
So you're sending those ahead of time? Cool.
Yeah, we'll send them now rather than send them in a moment in the future, even though they're unwritten.
No, that's fair. You can send those to me when you're ready.
Okay. Well, shall we hit the road, or you lot got plans? Any other things you want to do?
I don't think there's anything else that I need to do in the Flameguard garrison.
Oh, good.
Good
Okay,
morning.
Good sleep. Good morning.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have 10 minutes to wait for me to cast a spell, I wouldn't mind
Yeah?
do that.
Good day.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's the only thing I really want to get out of the way.
Well, if we've got 10 minutes, then I'm going to do the same thing.
I guess I should prepare my spells for the day. That would be helpful.
Yep, prepare what spells you want for the day. So, what would you like to cast there, Vinny?
I am going to be ritual casting Identify.
Okay.
Targeting. Let me get the name for it. Yeah, targeting the sword that I have. That has undetermined magical properties.
That's the one on your back, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. As you, otherwise drawing the... What remind me, it was a longsword, wasn't it?
A longsword.
Yes. You place it down in front of you, and as you otherwise begin to ritually cast Identify, you draw the symbols around, you place your palm on top of it. And as you do, the Identify spell hits it. But you don't know what it does. And you feel almost like you knew for a moment, but then it disappears. As if you're not sure, like the memory was there and then it just disappeared. You found out what it was seconds ago, you felt it, the spell succeeded. It's strange.
Flex zone.
You okay there?
I'm fine. The spell worked but didn't work. It's not supposed to do that.
Could it be the pearl?
No, I'm certain the spell succeeded. It just didn't give me the information, or it did, but I didn't. No, I think it's the sword.
Have you tried turning the sword on and off again?
Oh yeah,
What?
one second. I'm gonna take the sword and like not like super hard, but like bash it against the ground.
Okay. You bash it against the ground. As it hits, it rings for a moment, but then steadies itself. There's no significant damage done to it. The ground, on the other hand, is emotionally hurt that you would do such a thing.
Oh no, emotional damage.
No, percussive maintenance doesn't seem to be getting anywhere.
Hmm.
Surprising.
Oh, strange. Not heard of this before, but I mean, there's a lot of things in the world I haven't really heard of before.
It's a well-known technique to make sure that your spell works on your weapon. You just gently bang it against the ground.
Oh,
Occasionally, the ground will curse at you, cat.
Oh no, I can't do that. This will end really, really badly. Because I hope to ask if we can stay for another 10 minutes while I cast it. But I'm not slamming it against the floor. Mind if we take 10 more minutes for a second?
It's fine by
10 more
me.
minutes?
Oh, do you want the pearl, by the way?
Yeah, can I borrow that, please?
Oh my god!
Okay, I am going to cast Identify on Cychania.
Okay.
And I'm not banging her on the floor.
Okay. You place your hand on Cychania, and as you otherwise cast the Identify spell, you feel it go off, and your mind is filled with a blaring amount of information before it fizzles and fades. Cychania isn't an object, Cychania is a person. Magical, mind you. But it was like a list of names ran through your head and then disintegrated instantly. Roll me a Arcana check, if you please.
Okay. Actually, +6. That's like 24.
Is your mic up, by the way? Because you're quite quiet at the moment.
That better?
Yes, much better.
Yes.
24. You begin to try and rifle through the names that you learn in that very instant motion before they begin to fade and fleet. And as you otherwise begin to go through them, you sense several names that you recognize. One's from the village.
Oh. Oh. Hmm.
You okay there? Did it work for you?
No.
Oh.
Hmm. I guess that Sarchania's just too powerful for something like this.
Maybe it
Or
just
too
works
cool.
on melee weapons and not on sort of amulets and stuff. Another magical
Possibly.
objects.
Oh, I think it's just objects in general. Nonetheless, no, it didn't. I just... No. Just give Sarchania a pat on the head. Well, shall we hit the road then?
Suppose so, yeah. Good. Everybody.
Nothing else for me to do. I just
No.
need to keep an eye out to see if any expert in
Okay.
memory magic happens to turn up.
You good? You got food?
You. Oh, just one thing. Cat, why don't you hold on to the pearl for now?
You sure?
Yeah, as long as I can rely on you to identify things for me, I can focus on other things.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely no
Yeah.
problem.
If
Anything
we're
you
gonna
need
be-
identifying?
If we're going to be a team from now on, then I guess we should rely on each other.
Oh, that's really sweet. Yeah, we definitely are a team. We're gonna have to come up with a team name at some point. You know this, right?
Oh, I'm sure that'll take forever. I've been as a member of a team for years, and we never came up with a name.
Yeah, I mean, I literally just referred to you lot as the team of oddballs, but I mean,
It's a good
we need to
working
get an
title.
actual name. I don't know if we could walk up and say, "Hi, we're the oddballs."
Could
Might
we call
confuse people.
ourselves Team Title in Progress for the moment?
Team title in progress. I mean, it's true, I guess.
I
But
mean, I guess we better come up with a temporary name so that when any guards at Zaker's Crossing say, "And have you got a collective name?" we just turn around and say Title in Progress.
I don't know. That feels
Could
like
work.
a mouthful, or two. It just confusing. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, so be it. We are walking, by the way. I assume. While
Yeah,
we're
I
talking.
mean,
we're
you've just
probably
finished.
working our way up the gate.
I mean, you've just
Yeah.
finished ritual casting, so I imagine it would take a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah. In answer to your question, Sudz, no, I haven't. It stacks to wherever the next one comes in, and then I tick it off on my checklist.
Okay.
So in the next one it will, but not now.
I will take this one off the checklist. So
Hey, Vinny, did you say
yeah.
something about memory magic?
Yeah, it seemed like when I cast the spell, it worked, and I learned the effect, and then I forgot it immediately.
So it did
And you know, I'm
tell you
not normally
something.
that forgetful. The spell worked, so I guess it must have done.
Hmm.
And it is it is magical.
Excuse
K
me.
proved that.
I mean, if you want to try that again, casting the spell and seeing, I can. I could cast Detect Thoughts and see if something does pop up, even if it pops up temporarily. Maybe I can take some idea of what it is that pops up. Having a second eye on it. If you'd like.
It's worth a try, yeah.
Okay.
If you're offering.
Yeah, no. When we take a break next, we'll do that and give it a
Mhm.
try. Okay.
Okay, in which case you are travelling along the road. So, whose turn is it to roll the D100 for the day?
You had to say that, didn't you?
Well, it's random
like
encounters!
a D100.
Oh no, not a D100, sorry, a D20.
Yeah, let's
My
go for
apologies.
the D100. That sounds more terrifying.
No, that
unfortunately,
was my fault. That's not what it was.
Unfortunately, it's my turn.
that's not what we agreed on. Once it got to Jamie, it went back around, and the other
Oh, so
two
it's-
people
it's-
weren't here.
It's Jamie again. The other Jamie.
Well, no. Once it got to Jamie, he did his.
Oh,
It was
so
supposed to go to Infernal. Infernal's not here. Harlan's not here.
so it's Vinny again, just like that.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Just don't mess it up.
Yeah,
And
just
it's
don't mess it
fine.
up. Just
Yeah.
roll.
Alright.
Let's see what we get.
Okay, oddballs, it's dragon time.
Let's go.
12.
12.
Okay. As you are travelling, your journey ahead is well met. The weather is nice, and in fact, it's fairly in your favour. There is a point as you are travelling that you feel that you can keep up a relatively good pace for quite some time. And thus, you do. The pace is increased, so you travel a day and a half, which I believe actually takes you from a 1-day travel or 2-day travel to... not quite. But as you are travelling, actually no, because it'll be a 1.5-day travel. Yeah. As you are travelling at good pace, and in this instance, as you are traveling, you make a good headway. You are traveling through. You can see that there is a camp to one side, but you also see what looks to be an old path that leads off the road a little bit further south from where you are. You can choose as a party, if you wish to take the old path and see if it's a shortcut or if it makes things longer. Or you can travel along the intended path and you can get there in what you would expect to be a day and a half. So,
Do we want to roll the D2?
I like the idea of the old path because, you know, you could find all sorts of weird and wonderful
Hang on,
things.
it goes south, so it's kind of like doing. Oh, sorry. Kind of doing that.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, I seem to have got myself into a ruler mode. Don't like that. That's better.
Yep. So it seems to go south towards the edge of the gorge. Where you'd usually be travelling along the edge of it, you would be, or along a little ways in, it goes closer to the edge.
How obvious is this path?
It's been well travelled. Not necessarily in recent days by the looks of it. It's not a cobblestone or dirt road that you would expect given the nature of all this. Well, you're currently travelling on what is a well-maintained, kind of solid, packed earth and lightly stoned road to keep it going. This is the main way people travel, but there seems to be some form of off-footpath here.
Perhaps it takes you to a place with a nice view.
Yeah, sure.
This isn't
Go
Guild Wars.
off.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's been abandoned, or... Well, it doesn't look there's been any deliberate attempt to hide it, so I guess it's not that dangerous.
Then let's go.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay. Travelling south, you otherwise go off the beaten track and you begin to travel southward, much more heavily against the edge of the gorge. And who here actually knows the name of the gorge?
In theory, Damian would? No?
You've never travelled this far south, so not necessarily.
Would I not have read about it as like stuff to do with the history of the Alliance and stuff?
I'd say it's not mentioned all that much.
Yeah.
I guess not.
I think in a book would be the only time Cat would have ever heard of it.
Actually, I'll say, those of you proficient in history, go ahead and give me a
Okay, well I'll roll then. shall I?
history check.
Am I proficient in history? Oh my god, I am.
Yeah, give me a history check, just to give me a look-see. Because who knows,
there's
maybe
no
it's...
way Vinny knows this.
14.
That's
18.
18, okay. With the 14 and the 18, I'll say the 14 is a bit too out of your reach, Cat, as you are further from the Beastlands in the north, so this isn't something that's ever caught your attention. But Damian, this catches your attention very much so, as you know what this gorge is called. It's called the Featherfall Gorge. And as you otherwise reach the edge of it, you can see it goes off to a sheer cliff line and goes straight down. And from this beaten path, as you otherwise reach the edge where it looks like it drops off, there is a switchback pathway that is very precarious and narrow that seems to lead all the way down to the bottom of the gorge.
Ooh.
And
Cat.
I need to quickly find out how deep this
Romulus.
gorge is real quick.
Is this wide enough for them?
I mean, it's wide enough for you on horseback.
Okay,
It's
that's
gon-
true.
It's
and Lloyd
wide
have
enough for
alcohol.
you two on horseback, so it'll be wide enough for the others. It's just if there's a slight rock slide or anything, then you're all going.
Well, you lot can go.
Wow.
I ain't going anywhere. Well, I mean, at least now we know we can get to the bottom of the gorge if we need to.
True. Any of us got anything that maybe will allow us to see further? Cat, have you got a Jeff handy?
I have
Maybe
a Jeff.
you could take a
Jeff.
look-see down and what it might be at the bottom of this path?
The bottom of a gorge. But all right, let's go. I'm going to send Jeff down. Jeff, do not exceed 100 foot. if you do, come back. I feel that I need to now explain this to you after you flew away.
Jeff nods and flies off 100 feet down and doesn't get very far.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, no. I mean, we can see it's a bit closer to the bottom, but genuinely, can't make out anything.
It doesn't seem to be any closer to the bottom, and that just puts into perspective how far this gorge is. Hazarding a guess, granted at these depths, it's very out of your comfort zone to know how deep this is, but you guess at the very least 1,000 feet deep.
Yeah, it's about probably 1,000 foot deep.
At least
I
and
mean-
about is very different in this case.
All right, at least. Okay, you jump off there, you're dead. Probably.
We shouldn't jump off then.
Unless, Featherfall. Then there's a chance you'll probably survive.
Really? You reckon a Featherfall would save you on at least 1,000 foot fall?
Yeah?
Do you own Featherfall Cat?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay.
I do. I'm not going to encourage it. Well, you shouldn't jump. But, I mean, I do, if someone does.
I don't think I've ever seen or heard a drop that deep. Damian's gonna look and see if there's a rock nearby.
There's plenty.
Or a stone.
Yeah, there's plenty.
Damian is going to grab a stone and sort of...
Hang on. Before you throw that down there, what if there's a living creature down there?
Cat. It's a gorge that's full of plants. There's plenty of living creatures down there. At least 1,000 foot is going to create a crater unless I hit the river. I don't know how far the river is.
The river, you can't tell how far down it is. I will say, from this distance, you cannot see the other side.
I mean, is there a particular reason why you're going to throw a stone down there? What if someone's trying to walk up the path, we can't see them, and they just get pelted in the head by a rock and that's that?
Bad day to be them?
You're a knight. You should be concerned about lives.
Look, I wasn't going to throw it on the path. I was going to throw it beyond the path or to the side of the path.
Why?
Because I want to know what a sound... I'm curious.
You think we're going to hear a sound all the way down there?
Okay, do I need to get a boulder, Cat?
I don't think the sound will travel that distance. A boulder or Romulus, I still don't think you'd hear it go splat.
I would
Sorry,
be
Romulus.
very loud when I hit the bottom. Oh, I've already.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
Cat, are you telling me, an adult, to put the stone down?
I'm not telling you as an adult, I'm not telling you the adult, but I'm telling you who's meant to be responsible, that if you have potential for harming something, why take that risk? When
But I'm
it
a
doesn't
knight,
actually bring any... I mean, you don't gain anything from it, it makes no sense.
On the ride to this particular point, my horse has probably stepped on 10,000 grasshoppers.
Yeah, but there might be something more than a grasshopper down there.
If you piss it off, I'm not fighting it.
I mean, knowing our luck, considering we've been having quite bad luck, you'll throw something down there and there'll be a dragon, which will probably come up here and then kill us.
Damian gently replaces the stone back on the path.
We haven't had much luck between dragons, cyclops, big worm things. We've had a nice journey. I just don't want to get dead.
Maybe we should have taken a normal path.
I think we turn back and go. I
Probably.
mean, we now know where this path goes. It goes down.
Exactly. We now know that we can get down there if we need to get down there by other means. But, I mean, it's not been a waste of journey. Plus, we've got a nice view here. Look at this.
I can't see the
It's
other side of
true.
the gorge.
Yeah, I didn't realize just how big the gorge was.
It's quite large. I mean, wait, Zaker's crossing implies there's something that crosses this gorge?
Well, yes, there is a
Then
crossing,
that
I
must be
assume.
huge.
I mean, at the bottom of our map, there's a what I can make out to be possibly a big bridge. So
Wait, you got the map still?
I drew it.
He drew it. That's why we
Oh.
have this one up at the top right.
Oh, speaking of, when we get into town, we should find a new map. Otherwise, we won't know where we're going.
Yeah,
Ooh.
update our existing map. So,
Do you reckon that Zaker's Crossing might have a tourist information?
well, they've got the. I dare say, I think wasn't there the Pioneers Guild there?
Yep,
I'd be
Pioneers
very
Pioneers
surprised.
Guild centralised themselves around Zaker's Crossing because it
Yeah.
is a very good place for that sort of thing.
So we can get maps from there. Depends entirely on what maps we want, because there'll be some that will have specific things on them. You can get general or just a bog standard map. You can get one that shows more details for ruins and other things. I mean, this all really depends on how much money we want to throw. If we want to get just a basic understanding map, then yeah. But the Pioneers Guild is the best place to go for that stuff.
So we want a map of town?
We can
And
get
the-
a map of town. We can get a map of the surrounding area, so we get a rough idea of what's going on in the area. Especially if we're going to operate here for a little while.
Yeah, I'm assuming that we. Oh,
Hey, we got a Harlan. We have a Romulus.
Hey.
Maybe. He hasn't said
Maybe.
anything yet, so maybe. We'll see.
He's getting there.
He's getting there.
I can see his pupils slowly appearing.
They dilate like a cat.
Literally, it's exactly like that. They're just slowly now like coming back into so they should.
Yeah, Romulus is ready to jump.
I suppose then that's something maybe we should do upon arriving there. Besides finding an inn or tavern to stay at, of course.
Yeah, I think we should go in, find a tavern, work out where everything is, get our bearings, check out the Pioneers Guild, get a map of the local area, and then everyone potentially start pursuing for what people are wanting. So I
Because
dare say people have people they want to see.
Vinny has a particular place you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what kind of place it is, but there's some information I need
Like,
that I'm not able to find there.
do you think it's probably best then to do sort of discreet query about it once we get in? Rather than like just asking the
Yeah.
guards, do you know where such and such places?
I think there's probably no harm in taking some time to look around without announcing ourselves too much.
Okay.
Hmm. So can I make a proposal while we're here? Maybe check out, see if we can get a couple of jobs to get some money in.
Not a bad
Okay.
shout.
If we're going to be able to find somewhere and get some work, it's probably going to be here.
True. I mean, yeah, I would have thought so. I mean, the fact that several people that we're looking for seem to be here kind of indicates that there must be quite a bit of work here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, let's head in then. Let's see if we can find somewhere to stay. So we've got basically a base, and then go from there. Possibly get a map and
Okay.
work out what we want to do.
Is there a place where Lloyd and myself can turn our horses around?
That'd be by the entrance normally, wouldn't it?
I mean, in this instance, you haven't gone down the path, so it's not like that you've...
Oh, okay, so we just got to the point where the path.
You got to the edge of the path. It was up to you guys whether you wanted to go down or not. So at this point,
Okay.
you could just easily turn to
Oh, that's alright.
go back.
I was just wondering if we had to like find a railway turntable or something
Nah.
suddenly. Okay, it's good.
No.
Phew. My iron horse lives to fight another day.
You'll be fine. So, with that, you travel the rest of your day along the basic path, and you eventually arrive at what looks to be a large campsite. Noting something about the map where Zaker's Crossing is up here, because otherwise it would be on the bridge. I
Oh.
can't actually put it there.
Oh. Okay, that's not what I was expecting it to be. Oh, interesting.
So, as you arrive at what looks to be a large campsite. There are what looks to be 20 to 30 caravans currently here. There look to be carts, carriages, all sorts. Large tents have been set up, small tents have been set up. You can see showmen, you can see everybody sat around enjoying and talking and chatting, and a numerous amount of guards, including some flame guards, or flame keepers, who are currently keeping guard of one particular section of camp. There seems to be a large group of people here.
I'm just gonna hop over to sort of say hi to the guards quickly. I don't know if you guys want to. I'm gonna sort of like motion to my tent and say, I don't know if you want to set up the tents for my tent for the night. So we got a couple of tents each, but is that good?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, you seem to have better luck with the guards last time.
Well, I hope so. I mean, we're kind of allied together. I mean, we got the same common cause at least, so I should hopefully be alright with them. Maybe I'll be able to hear some news of what's going on ahead and what's going on in general around.
So,
Okay.
while the rest of your company finds a spot to camp up, you otherwise wander off to go and speak to the guards.
I've left Starlight probably behind them walking off it.
Yeah. In answer to your question, Jamie, to what you said, no. There were probably hundreds of thousands of names.
Okay. Well, you said some of them for camp, so I didn't know.
No, some of them, I'd say probably one or two that you recognised, but there was too much information for you to handle in one sitting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why a lot of it fleeted. It was a lot of information and then it dissipated.
Cool.
Okay.
Right.
So, Damian, you wander off and you see the flame keepers ahead. They otherwise note your approach as one of them kind of steps up to block a path if you were beelining for anything, but not in an imposing manner, kind of leaning on their spear slightly with their shield up.
Well, I'm gonna approach him. It's kind of obvious what he's doing. I'm just gonna approach him, sort of palms, arms down by my side, palms facing him. I'm no harm, no risk.
Okay.
Don't need to worry about me. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
What news from the south?
Nothing much. We don't go too far south. We're more from the west. This is just one of the stop-off points.
Ah, you've been on your way from the Flame Guard garrison as well?
Yes, we are making our way to Nanlo.
Ooh, that's not somewhere I've heard of. Where's that?
It's a village not far from here, maybe 2 days of travel. It's at the end of the gorge, just before the lake itself.
Oh, to the east?
Yes.
Huh. Any news from that direction that you're aware of?
We're just traveling there. Got business to attend to. And you?
We're heading south towards Zaker's Crossing. Me and my, I sort of generally point backwards, but I don't know where on earth the party have ended up at this point, so it's just sort of like general bump back.
I mean, Kay's right behind you.
Oh, yeah, but I'm not going to notice that.
Yeah, fair.
The guard's got to make a perception check, but I'm not going to notice.
Nope.
Yeah, me and my companions, we're heading down to Zaker's Crossing.
Right. Well, good luck to you, whatever you're doing that far.
You haven't heard of any trouble in the local area? Just sort of any word? People around.
There's always trouble, but south of the bridge isn't our concern.
Oh, not south of the bridge, sort of in the very local area here.
Around here?
Yeah.
Can't say I do. Some of the others were talking of word of various creatures that have been happening and causing issues. Something about the old roadways not being... Well, that's the reason why they're old, but not as trustworthy as they used to be. Bandits, brigadines, vagabonds, all that kind of thing.
The old roadways.
Yes, the one that travels from Narnlow up to what is now Trenlow's Rest.
There's another road?
One that went straight through. As I'm showing on the tabletop.
Hmm.
Why is it old? Why did it stop getting used?
I don't know. I wasn't around when that happened. All I know is that it's mostly bandit territory now. We've done raids, we've taken care of some, but not all. There's still issues. There used to be one that went from Zaker's Crossing to Droll's Byway as well, just north east of here.
Oh, interesting.
And again, they crisscrossed and there used to be a little bit of a network, but the middle of it kind of became a hotspot for raids, so they stopped using them. They started using the further afield ones. People still take them, that's just why there's still banditry around the area, but we've
Still
got more of a
pickings.
set on the others. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, most of bandit territory is further east of here. Narnlow and Lakeedge are the ones that are hit the most. Go any further than that and you get to the Majocracy, in which case... fair play, but the bandits aren't going to be an issue there.
No, I've heard things to do with the Majocracy, yes.
Otherwise, bandits to the east of here, hence our guarding. But other than that, nothing of interest. I mean, you're the one who's the Knight of Paloon. There's more likely more stuff in the north than there is down here.
There's some things that have occurred to the north, you're correct. Have you heard any news from Trendlaw's arrest recently?
Not that I know. I haven't been that way. I came from Maruk with the rest of my company, stopped in at the garrison, moved on, and now we're here.
Well, if you ever have to go that way, just to let you know that Trendlaw's Rest is passable again now.
Oh, it wasn't at some point?
There was an outbreak of a contagion, but it's been sorted out now.
Oh,
It was
good
a few
to know.
days ago.
Good to know. Hopefully none of our company got caught up in that previous one, anyway.
I hope not. I know that there were Flame Guard over there, but I hope that mostly got away with it.
Hopefully so. Take care of yourself.
And you. Thank you.
He nods and...
Can I have a little look around to see if there's anything that seems a bit unusual about the guards behind him? Just, if there's any unusual activity that seems a bit odd, or seems a bit odd to me as a knight who's presumably witnessed quite a few flame guards doing things in the past.
Make me a perception or an insight check of your choice.
Okay, I'm gonna do an insight check. I want to see if they're sort of acting a bit suspicious or odd. Well, with a 7, probably not.
The Flame Guard haven't necessarily always been forthcoming. That's typically the nature of the way the Flame Guard and Flame Keepers otherwise tend to be. They haven't necessarily come from the brightest of histories, and it's been quite shaded for the most part. But in terms of these individuals here, they seem to be doing their duty, keeping themselves to themselves, which is probably what they've been told or paid to do. So in this instance, it's not out of the ordinary. But at the same time, they're not being forthcoming with you, so they're always a little bit suspicious in that sense.
Okay. I also want to, having not noticed anything out of the ordinary, I'm going to have a little look around and see if there's, if there's like any other groups in the camp.
There are several groups. There's about 20 to 25 caravans. It's a mixing of all kinds. What looks to be traders, a few mercenaries, several dwarves, a few tieflings in the mix. They all seem to be just generally getting on.
Okay.
Most of them are unmarked for the most part. The only ones who are really marked are the showmen, but outside of that, there isn't really anything which catches your attention.
Okay. Okay, I'm just going to head off to a random caravan. Just head off in a random direction. I want to just see if I can hear some news of what's going on.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
That will be an 11.
11. You move around the camp, otherwise kind of getting a general surveying of it all. And as you do move past various groups, they are kind of talking, drinking, chatting. There are a few that are very much enjoying this, and they're talking about, like, the fact that they've been from Trendor's Rest and things haven't been so great. Others have said they had to go the long way around from Drul's Byway, and they're heading into Zaker's Crossing tomorrow. You do overhear one particular dwarf otherwise saying, if you're heading into Zaker's Crossing, make sure you wake up nice and early. If the rest of this lot are otherwise going that way as well, you're going to be stuck in a jam for a while. The way gates are big and they let people through, but they do a lot of checks if people will show up at once. And the trader otherwise kind of nods, thanking the dwarf for the information as an exchange of coin, and they go about their business, kind of enjoying merry conversation.
Okay. Huh. I'm gonna sort of not directly move, but kind of move in this general direction, see if I can sort of catch his eye.
The dwarf?
Seems to know, maybe, yeah, he seems to perhaps know a little bit about what's going on to the south at Zaker's Crossing.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check. With disadvantage because you're wearing heavy armor and you're on horseback.
Oh, no, I
it's
left the
not on
horse
horse.
behind.
It's not on horse.
Oh, you're not
Yeah,
on
I'm on
horseback.
Horse
Oh,
with the
okay.
party.
Oh, okay. You're not on horseback, okay.
But I'm still wearing heavy armor.
You're still wearing heavy armor, yes. You're not exactly quiet.
Well, I think that'll be a negative. So we'll go with a negative, and we won't even bother trying to calculate it.
It's a natural 0. So,
Oh, it's a natural 0. That's a
well,
better than the fourth.
unnatural 0, sorry. So,
Natural 0. Hell, they'll do that.
yeah. So, you... As you're otherwise wandering around the camp, you are drawing a lot of attention as you are just wandering around. But in this instance, as you kind of approach and kind of just slow near the dwarf, he does kind of catch your attention, just looks at you for a bit, and then just looks back and goes back to silently mumbling to himself. He knows you're there.
Really, with an unnatural 0 stealth. Okay. I'm gonna. Oh, he spotted me. I'm gonna walk straight towards him now. Still, in exactly the same sort of position as I was with the guard. I offer no harm. My palms are facing you.
Okay. He kind of looks up. What do you want?
Greetings. I need agenda, sir, madam.
Roll me an insight check.
That was a dwarf. Damn it.
Can I assist?
No.
I am following him.
Alright, you can make your own insight check, and I'll give you the... If you get higher than him, and it happens to be high enough, I'll give you the answer.
Oh no, that doesn't seem good.
Oh God.
It's a 5.
I rolled a 3.
Dwarf.
Mine ended up being insight.
Insight.
7.
Dwarves are confusing, man.
So
It's got
So-
hair.
It's
dwarf-
got hair, but so do female dwarves.
the dwarf is going to get a basically a sentence which goes, "Greetings,"
The gender here.
and then just sort of trails off.
Is that the best you can come up with? You can't tell what I am?
Greetings, dwarf. I correct myself.
I suppose that's good enough. I earned that one. What is it, knight?
I was wondering if you
And
had
his
any
friend.
news from the.
I didn't even get the roll stealth.
Go
Come
ahead. I don't think you can beat his perception. You're gonna need a very
Watch,
high
this is-
roll.
This is when I get the nat 20.
Nope.
Nope.
No, in this instance, he otherwise looks over and then he sees you and he's like, he nods to you and says, "And your friend."
Hello, sir.
Damian near enough jumps out of his skin and then just sort of goes, "Oh, not again."
I'm taking the 50-50 shot. I say hello, sir.
Okay. He looks at you and goes, "At least somebody can understand what I am."
Oh God.
You're kind of rude there. They're talking to Damian.
I apologize, sir.
No offense done, it's fine. It's difficult to tell a dwarf from a dwarf. It's fine. Regardless, you wanted to
I
talk,
was-
I'm assuming, with your approaching?
I was wondering if you had any news from the south, from Zaker's Crossing.
Anything in particular? There's a lot of news. Political houses fighting one another, talking and backstabbing. There's adventures to be had, information and trade information from the south. What are you looking for?
Any recent trouble in town?
Plenty. Half the city's population is Undercity, so... Well, not Undercity, but 25% of the extra population is Undercity, and then 50% of it is alleys, so, you know.
Any recent trouble involving any of my kind? I assume you very rarely see any of my kind this far south.
I'd agree. So much so, I don't think I've seen any of your kind in months, maybe years.
Huh.
None that I've heard of, I'll say that much. And again, I'm not an info broker. Looking for that sort of thing, you need to have a look around.
Are there people in Zaker's Crossing who sort of sell this kind of information?
Plenty. High prices, mind you. Some of them will accept favors, but high prices otherwise. Lowest I know of, depending on what information you're asking for, could be anywhere between 5 and 300 gold.
That doesn't surprise me.
Depends on what you're after. And again, depends on who you're otherwise charged by as well. Some will be more forgiving than others. They otherwise might have an alternative reason or ulterior motive.
I can imagine with very few of my kind around, I'd probably get some interested looks and rather high prices.
Quite possibly. I mean, you're a knight, you're rich, right? That's how it works.
Either
Well,
that or they'll just avoid you.
That's
This is
also
true.
true.
It
You, on
would
the
be
other
nice
hand,
if-
seem like more of the kind they'd accept. Not decay.
Yeah, probably.
have you got any questions, Faye?
Nope, just making sure you're not getting yourself in trouble.
I'm being chaperoned, as you see, Mr. Dwarf.
I love how you whisper that.
Yeah, as if he's still not entirely sure.
He's just like, yeah, maybe they're still playing games with me. I've had this happen before.
That's fair. But, no, in this instance, I'd say try to just look around. There might be individuals willing to sell you that kind of info. Maybe it's happened. If there's nothing to be found, then they'll know. And they won't charge you for information they don't have.
Okay,
Is that it? You just wanted to try and find information on something you're after?
I was wondering if maybe you'd heard any odd things. I've been following a chain of very strange events for a few weeks now. I wondered if maybe they had continued.
Can't say I've heard anything. Especially nothing including any of your kind. But then again, very few of your kind, or anybody else for that matter, that would otherwise be loyal to the Alliance comes through Zaker's Crossing. We only plead allegiance because it saves us from having to worry about any problems. Keeps our trade good as well.
Yes, it's very very sensible. I mean, I wouldn't want to come down this far. Not with a load of my fellow knights.
I mean, hey, it gets colder if you keep going south, so it's not that great. Anyway.
No wine grown down there.
Don't be so sure. Anyway. So, anything else, or is that all?
Looks okay.
I'm just chaperoning you. I got no questions.
My chaperone doesn't say so, and I think I'm happy with what you at least informed me of. Thank you.
Right.
And bear with me. It's the right tab. Uh, I'm gonna get 5 silver pieces out and then sort of look at him quizzically. Is that enough?
I mean, I'm not the one who makes the prices. It was information that was basically telling you there's no information. So, sure.
Hand it over.
Takes 5 silver pieces. Thanks.
It might be no information of importance, but you nevertheless helped.
Fair enough.
Have a pleasant journey wherever you may be headed.
You too. He goes back to kind of sitting with the others.
How long have you been following me, Kay?
Hmm?
How long have you been following me?
Since you started.
Oh, okay. That's comforting, I think. Sort of fidgets in his armor.
Just act like I was never here.
I will continue to be oblivious.
Okay.
And does his best to like hairs standing up on back of neck feeling. I'm gonna head over towards the showman.
Okay. Okay. While that's going on, did Kat or Vinny, did you want to do anything while you're setting up the tent at all? Or tents?
Me.
Well, I'll probably take a look around what like the breakdown of this crowd looks like. See what kinds of people we're expecting, if anyone looks out of place.
The flame keepers are the only ones that really look out of place. Everybody else seems to be kind of mingling and joining in with conversation. You see cart folk, individuals who are traders perhaps, or some form of traveling artisan. You can see the showmen who are quite clearly kind of performing and enjoying themselves and just hanging out with the various groups. Seems to be a group of dwarves, which stands out to a certain degree, but they seem to be mingling and getting on with everyone else, so they kind of mix with the crowd, whereas the flame keepers keep themselves to themselves.
Nothing significant then. We'll look at the tent setup first of all.
Mm-hmm.
After we've done the tent, we can try that thing with the sword if you want again.
Oh yeah, this seems like as good a time as any.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's going on there? It's...
So I'll give the pearl back. He's going to cast Identify, and I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts. And push or not push, what have you, to keep up with what he's getting information-wise, to see if I can discern anything.
Because you're using Detect Thoughts, you get D3 charges. So
Yep.
So go ahead and roll those to see how many you get. It might come in useful. And are you ritual casting Identify?
So I get 1 charge.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
Okay. So, as you begin to ritual charge or ritual cast Identify, and you cast Detect Thoughts, you can see the surface thoughts of Vinny. He has the plan. He knows what he's doing. He is casting the spell, ritual casting it. Do you wish to delve deeper? Do you wish to just sit on surface thoughts?
As it goes off, if the surface thoughts aren't giving much or going off, then I will delve specifically into that.
Okay. Okay. So as the ritual goes off, the Identify spell occurs, and you again feel like you know what the weapon does, but you don't. Cat. You detect the information pass through his head, in his thoughts, and then disappear deeper, perhaps.
Okay. Can I follow that information?
You may. Vinny, are you going to resist?
No. If I'm able to let this happen, then I will.
Okay. And Cat?
Since we did arrange this already.
Yep, no, that's fair. So, Cat. As you dive deeper into Vinny's mind, you feel the sudden almost submerging in his thoughts. as you begin to delve deeper into what particular subject? Just following the thought?
Yeah, so identify or sword. I'm essentially chasing identify and sword.
Okay. Also, I need you to roll wild magic. I completely forgot because you're casting a second level spell still.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I forgot because it's a spell, not that. Oh, I can't do it.
Vinny's
Well,
mind goes up in a puff of smoke.
Ooh,
2.
that goes off.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay. So level
Vinny.
2, no modifiers. Go ahead and roll me a d100, please.
Oh no. Is Vinny going to turn into a bowl of petunias?
Okay. For the next minute, you feel like your magic is going to do a lot if you try to do something with it. But that won't matter because you're concentrating on detect thoughts. So unless you roll damage against Vinny, it's not maximized.
Oh my god. I have no intention to, so we're good.
You're fine. It's a good roll. Shame it's in this circumstance. So, as you begin to dive into Vinny's thoughts, following the knowledge, it otherwise swerves, taking a bend through his mind, as it were. As you begin to travel through, you can see what looks to be the identification spell itself going off, the memory of learning the information, and you watch as it is pulled into almost this amorphous blob of grey and white. With almost this slight reflective nature to it, almost like mist. Do you follow?
Can I poke it?
You poke it. It does have physical mass, almost like that of gel or water, but suspended.
Okay. I will pursue it.
Okay. You push through. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check, please. You know, this would just be an intelligence check, sorry. Because this would be... Yeah, this would just be to try and get through.
Okay, it's 14.
14. You push, and as you do, you feel the water give and pull you in suddenly. You feel almost this uncontrollable swirl and swerve in that moment. You know what? No, the spell would technically be doing max damage here. So, Vinny, you take 6 points of psychic damage.
Oh, for God's sake.
As you swerve and swirl on the inside for a moment, you otherwise reorientate yourself, and you can see the memory disappearing in, almost this light tether of silver pulling it along.
Okay, can I'm trying to chase it. I'm actually going to reach out for it.
Okay. Following it, you continue on through this mist, and you begin to see what look to be small flashes of figures. What looks to be people or silhouettes of them draped in some form of robe or clothing. You see what looks to be a larger one, kind of a large muscular form, a small one, what looks to be a younger, thin one, an older one of kind of a brilliant facial hair, and finally you see Vinny. And you also note other figures kind of mingling in with them as you travel through, following this memory of what the object does.
Okay. I'm not going to pay too much mind to them because I don't want to be intrusive. So I'm literally focusing solely on trying to chase this sword.
Okay. Traveling deeper within and kind of smoothing past this, you eventually hit what looks to be the item in question. And as you otherwise reach it, you see the description for it.
Okay.
I will send that to you now. As you look across, you can see what looks to be the image of the longsword. A beautiful longsword made of what looks to be a very intricately, otherwise carved and etched steel blade. You can see those always have a nice curved and decorated hilt, as well as a very simple inscriptions that otherwise line across the front of it in languages that you don't understand. And as you otherwise look over them, there's no identifiable language to what's written here. It's just writing, as if it's the forming of squiggles and symbols which don't have a meaning or language. It's none that you've ever seen before.
Technically, can I cast a spell while I'm thinking? I don't imagine I can.
You can try.
Okay, can I... Oh, hang on, one sec. Comprehend language, is that concentration? Where is it? Comprehend language is not. Okay, I will clap my hands together in the thought that maybe my body's somehow still connected, and see if it works.
Okay.
Cast comprehend language.
Casting comprehend language. You look at the symbols and the objects. There doesn't seem to be a language to this. It's just shapes, symbols.
Mm.
You're not sure whether the spell
Okay.
worked or not.
Okay, then in that case, before this ends, can I have a look around, see if I can get a rough idea of why this has been dragged to here?
As you otherwise look around, kind of getting a general vague look, I'd like you to make me an investigation check, and this will be the last one before the spell ends.
Yeah, that's fine. Investigations, that's a +6. That's 11.
11. Looking around, you can see what looks to be one of these silhouetted forms. Human, muscular form, but not too muscular, quite possibly male. It's the only feature you can really make out from the silhouetted form as your body is pulled from this.
Was it the same
instance.
form as I saw before with the 4 of them?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, right, cool. Right, then I will...
And notably 5 of
believe
them included Vinny.
5. What was that? I've got a large, the small, the older one, Vinny. What was the other one then?
There's the old small one, and then there's the thinner younger one.
Oh. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right. So... well, I found it. Found the
the sword?
information. Yeah, though it was like it was locked away in a part of your brain that... Maybe you'll be able to understand this, because, I mean, obviously I don't know you, but there were 5 people? A thinner younger guy, a large person, small, an older one, and then there was you. But when I found the description of the swords, the only thing that was around in the area was the larger guy before the spell broke. So I don't know if maybe they're protecting you from something? I have no idea. But
Well,
that's all I've managed to get. But I've got the thing for you. So it sounds horrific, the longsword of agony.
Vinny, roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh god.
Oh, wow, good job!
Alright, in my defense, I meant to know that it's gonna be bad.
15.
15. In that moment, there is a flash of realization as you also receive the description for this, which I will send to you now. As the name is said to you, your mind recollects learning this information, and the person who previously wielded it was Cassius. But he didn't wield it from what you remember beforehand, only that he was wielding it.
That help?
You do, I'll say, Kat, you do note that as you do mention the name of the blade, he immediately has like a jerk reaction where his head twitches to one side and a little bit of blood is beginning to trickle out of his nose.
Oh God. I'm gonna go through see if I can find like a napkin or something. Uh, yeah. Sort of like stop the bleeding. Plug.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
This sword used to belong to a friend of mine.
Oh, okay. Was that one of the people that I saw?
From the sounds of it, yeah. The problem is I found it embedded in someone else. Another friend.
Well, that makes things difficult. So,
You said you saw a large figure.
yeah, there
Anyone
was a
with my
large
memories?
muscular figure, and that was the one that was but the location of the description of your sword.
If you saw her again, would you recognize her?
It was more of a silhouette. I didn't see any discerning features.
Well,
Did I?
for clarification, the large figure and the figure you saw at the end were two different people.
Oh, were
The
they?
the
Right.
large muscular figure is different from the silhouette of what looks to be a human, kind of potentially masculine individual.
Oh, right. So I saw the figure with the sword. I saw that a lot more clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I would be able to identify her again.
Him and potentially, and not necessarily, but possibly.
I mean, potentially, I mean, it was just a fleeting glance. Like, I didn't really get to see a whole lot of detail.
Okay. What I learned from the Three Sisters is that two of my friends are trying to kill each other. And maybe this is why.
For this sword.
Over what was done with it. All I know is who it belonged to, but
Understandable. So, who it belonged to? Are they still alive?
yes, as far as I'm aware.
Right. But you, I'm assuming, don't know where. If you're not too sure.
No idea, I'm afraid.
Hmm.
The other person was nearby. I think they came through Tremblor's Rest, so I need to get on the trail of them.
Is this what you're currently pursuing then? To find stuff that's relevant to this? People that are relevant to this? And your friends?
Yeah, I'd been looking for Tremblor's Rest for a while, because I heard that somebody who might be able to help me is... But when we first met, I was just trying to lay low. But if there's a chance to get some answers, then that's what I want to do.
Oh, that's understandable. Well, I'll help as much as I can. Have you got a list of names for people to keep an ear out for?
Yes, Carvern and Cassius. That's a silver dragonborn and a human.
Which one's which?
Carver Fardrandir is
The Dragonborn.
the Dragonborn. And she's the one I think is nearby.
Right, okay.
I need to catch up with her and find out what she knows that I don't.
Okay, and that's the Silver Dragonborn, if I recall correctly.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I will keep an eye out for anyone that matches description, and I won't approach, but I'll point you in the right direction should I come across. I mean, I have a Jeff at my disposal to send to you.
Thank you.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, I'm glad to helped you get some answers at least.
Yeah, this has been helpful. It's put me on the right track. It itself was worth it. I say, wiping away the blood.
Okay, as long as
What
you're
the
okay.
hell is going on inside my head, by the way?
I don't. I tried not to pay attention because I didn't want to be nosy, but there were people, and there's a grey gloopy mess. Not come across that before, but I've never really pushed too hard into people's brains, so it could be a normal thing. I don't know. I'll let you know when I push into someone else's brain if I find more grey gloopy stuff.
You know what? That would be helpful, actually.
Okay.
Oh god. I've got 3 mental images going through my brain now. The first one is what my mum said when she brought up the tea, when I said that that's what Cat was looking into Vinny's brain. He said, cobwebs? Now it's more a case of no, we just got to get a hose or something out and just sort of suck out a load of grey gloop.
Yeah.
And then as you're finding information in the bar, which is even better, I've just now got this image of Jeff overhearing something and then just trying to fly back to you like, I heard something, and just knocking like all the glasses on the counter over.
Amazing. Amazing.
Okay. So, while you're finished setting up tents and going from there, Damian and Kay, you were heading over to the showman?
Yes.
I mean, I guess he is.
Yeah, I think Damian is.
Okay. Okay. You head over to the showman. You can see what look to be 2 tieflings. One's currently doing an act of some form. Seems to be more of a puppet act with a kind of a stage and using marionettes as a means of communication and fun and entertainment in this particular night scene. The campfire is otherwise well lit and illuminating the area around. There seem to be what look to be a few children amongst the groups here as they're currently looking up and watching, as they're otherwise watching the show with relative entertainment.
It's a perfect time to rob them all.
Well, whilst Kay disappears and sneaks up and tries to steal stuff from everyone.
Or just you.
Are there any showmen not watching, or are there any like relaxing? Playing
Currently
games or
no.
anything?
No, most of them are otherwise engaged in the story. It seems like they all seem to have a piece of this. From what you can
Okay.
see, anyway.
I'm gonna sort of keep a little bit of a distance, but enough that I can sort of listen in and then listen to the story and enjoy the story.
Okay. You begin to listen to the story, and it seems to go through what looks to be the tales of some of the older kings of the Alliance, the notions of who they were and what they did, the tales of how they were slain, and the mentioning of various other powerful individuals who came from across far seas to intervene with wars and rebellions in various manners. It's a rather interesting tale, nothing of particular historical accuracy from your understanding of history, but you know, there are a lot of things that are glanced over. There's a lot of things which are kind of pantomime-y flared to give more of a inspirational talk, but teaches baseline history from what you understand. As the play otherwise comes to a conclusion, the individuals all exit the booth. They all bow before they all begin to retreat. There's a round of applause from the groups, and people begin to disperse and go to their carts as it is now getting late.
Can I see if I can just intercept somebody as they're heading towards their car? Somebody who maybe looks either more head of showman or somebody who was telling a good amount of story or something like that.
Okay, so you go over to one of the showmen?
Yeah.
Okay. You head over to one, you can see what looks to be a kind of a bright white tiefling, what looks to be a series of flowers on their shoulders and around their belly line, a male individual, kind of a rounder form to him. What looks to be sleeked back hair of what looks to be almost this greying variety, tied him into this long ponytail, and two long horns that curl up and backwards along his hairline before coming to almost a pinch at his nape, as he otherwise looks out and across, kind of packing away his marionettes into various slots in what looks to be a suitcase of some form. You approach him?
Yeah.
Okay. He looks up from his packing and kind of sees you. Oh, did you like the show?
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It's a very good story. I enjoyed its telling.
Good, glad.
I was wondering if any of you or your colleagues had come from Zaker's Crossing recently.
Aye, myself and my group, we've all come from Zaker's Crossing. We just had a gig there. We were there for a little bit. We're heading back now.
Oh, you're heading back, are you?
Yeah, heading back up north. Going to be heading to Eternal's Rest and hopefully, potentially going to Balloon. Not too sure yet.
Ah, well, do say hello if you do go up there to my brethren.
Will do. Say, what you doing this for, South, anyway?
I'm heading with a group. Goes to motion back to K.
K is not where you expect.
Well, I
Then
mean that's just
motioning
the
at
norm,
nothing.
isn't it?
Gestures everywhere.
Gestures sort of vaguely. So I'm with some companions, sort of looking around frantically. What happened?
K is waving at them over Damian's shoulder.
Okay. You've climbed onto his back as you're waving. He just nods to you. Folds his arms.
And we're heading down to Zaker's Crossing. We've got some information and tasks that we wish to find, and people to find, and places to go.
Aha.
Any particularly unusual news from the south?
Nothing out of the ordinary. Zaker's
Right.
Crossing is its usual thing. Strange, odd, unique in every way.
Are there any particular things that we as travellers should be sort of watching out for as we go in?
Make sure you've
Besides-
not got anything on you that's going to get you caught, that's going to get you in big trouble. Contraband's a big problem. They
No
have a
contraband?
They have a tendency to check people, so...
Any subjects we should potentially avoid? In just general conversation?
No, not really. The Zaker's Crossing is a place for everyone. If you're looking to hide out, it's the best place to go. Nobody asks questions. If you're looking for somewhere to get information, it's great. There's information brokers at almost every corner. Looking to go and join the gang? Well, there's plenty of them. There's about 26. You want to go and join a
for every
mercenary
little help.
company or get some work? And again, there's a lot of places there to work. Guilds that'll take you in. There's plenty to it down there. If you're looking for anything, you can probably find it there.
So
Just
if
long as-
somebody wanted to hide there, they'd probably just be lost within the city?
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's like 25% of the city itself is derelict, so there's plenty of places to hide.
Wait, most of this large part of the city's derelict?
You've never been to Zaker's Crossing then, have you?
I am a knight, we don't venture.
It's a
as far as
vertical
that
city,
goes.
so there's a lot of houses that don't get used because they're dangerous underneath others.
City's vertical?
It'll make more sense
What,
once
a bit
you,
like
once you get
Monolith?
there. No, Monolith is staggered, from what I understand. It's
Oh,
more
I
like a
see.
staircase. This is more just like...
A tower.
Exactly. If you were to put a box on top of a box on top of a box. Like your little
My
friend,
God.
like your little friend said, if it's like putting a box on top of a box on top of a box. They just kept on going until they found they should probably stop. It's very well supported in the construction guilds. They're constantly maintain a lot of it, but until that's the case, there is quite a bit of sagging where their weight gets too much in certain areas. So until they're reinforced, large sections of it are derelict. People who are looking to hide can use it to hide out. If not, there's plenty of shady people who will be happy to hide someone for the right price, anyway.
Do the guards take note of who comes in and out, or do they just not ask questions? They just search.
Some do. I mean, they'll probably take notes, but they'll take names and descriptions and ask nothing further. They won't. If you could call yourself Jeff, and nobody would care.
Would these people be amenable to a knight asking any questions, or is that more just something that happens further north, like in Trentle's Rest?
They might let you, but it's not going to necessarily get you any answers. They probably won't know anything. Their job's to check stuff, and if someone comes through and tries to run for it, they take you down.
But they take names and descriptions, correct?
They take names and descriptions, yeah.
But they're not necessarily going to share them?
Not really, no. They're their own thing. They're not flame keepers like you're used to.
Oh.
No, the group themselves are called the Watchmen. They're an independent militia. They work under the city's pretense. Other than that, there's 2 mercenary companies that otherwise run the place pretty much. Along with the Builders Guilds and the otherwise plethora of houses, the court that otherwise maintains the city's grouping and the way that it works. And then the rest of it all belongs to the Wickermen.
Oh, the Wickermen?
You would have heard of them through history. They were the ones who were burned alive by Queen Aurelius.
Gotcha. Oh, they're still around? They survived?
Of course. After they won, they took up residence in Zaker's Crossing. They make up 50% of its inhabitants.
So they're probably not going to be overly happy with me being there.
They don't care about you. I mean, you're a Knight of Paloon. You're not an ironmonger.
Huh.
You would know from history that Paloon was neutral when that whole affair went down, whereas the ironmongers were hired.
Gotcha.
The ironmongers were brought in as a expert military force, and Paloon just turned and said, "No, we're not getting involved. This is against our codes."
Brilliant. Okay.
Other than that, there's plenty of guilds in there. There's all kinds of individuals that it might be worth taking note of. There's a lot. So it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for something specific, then go ahead. You'll probably find it. If you're looking for information on something, they'll probably be there somewhere.
One other interesting question. The Pioneers Guild. Do you know what the sort of prices are like for maps?
Depends. Price depends on what you think you can handle, and then they don't take any blame for if you die, effectively.
Huh. Oh. So they.
Their price
So
depends on the danger of what they're giving you. If they're giving you a dangerous map and they don't think you can handle it, then they won't sell it to you. But if you're someone who's very powerful and you're trying to take a cheap map because you're looking for a cheap thrill, they'll sell it to you for a very expensive amount because it's not for you. They'll give you maps that are more your level, so to say, and it'll be a right
should
cost.
Match
Your
our
ability.
and skill. I see.
They typically end up appraising that based on what maps they give you. Sometimes they get wrong and people die. That happens. But most of the time they'll start off low, and if you end up completing maps too quickly or doing things too well, they'll up their prices.
Okay. That is useful information. Okay. You got any questions?
Nope, just making sure you're not getting in trouble.
Am I getting in trouble?
No, not at all. I mean, hey, if you're heading in, there are plenty of taverns and inns that I could recommend.
Ooh, that's actually a good point. We don't obviously know the city. Yeah. Is there anywhere in particular you would recommend?
Are you looking for a place to stay or a place to drink?
Probably a place to stay. I think there are things that we want to find within the city.
There are a few good places that are good for staying. You've got, from my knowledge, which I'm gonna roll for. From my knowledge, there's a few good ones which I've been through before. If you're looking for more of a, would you be looking for shady or reputable?
Probably reputable,
Okay.
or at least more towards a reputable end.
If you're looking for more reputable, I'd recommend Dragon's Rest is quite a nice one, but it's not bad. Otherwise, the Firefly Stacks is the main one that people go to and from.
How about Shady?
The Firefly Stack.
You want to know shady?
Yeah.
Place to stay or place to drink?
Probably drink.
I mean, if you're looking for both, the oiled pickle's pretty good. Otherwise,
Oiled pickle.
Otherwise, Dredge Swill's pretty good. I've been there a few times, it's quite nice, but you'll need to take the hang cages down to the bottom of the gorge.
There's cages that go to the bottom of the gorge?
Yeah, long
That's
winches.
quite deep.
Yeah, long mechanical winches that otherwise head down. Massive chain system with a giant cage. Can hold up to about 10 people.
Do you know if they were created by the dwarves by any chance?
Don't know who created them. All I know is that the person who owns them's rich.
Oh, I bet. I can imagine if it's a vertical city.
I mean, the gorge itself is several thousand feet deep. And the river at the bottom is rich with nutrients. There's an entire ecosystem down there. It's entirely floodplains, and people grow everything that feeds the city. Those of agricultural background are given free passage to and from. Those who live in the Ivy Hills down there are also welcome, but anybody who's an outsider has to pay. It's a lot of coin to go down there, but it's worth it.
See, if you threw that rock, you could have killed somebody.
Worth.
Oh my god.
Slowly turns with a 1,000-yard stare. But there's a few places. Dredgeswill is pretty good. I'd recommend there if you're looking for somewhere seedy. It's quite nice down in the Ivy Hills. Otherwise, if you're looking for a place to stay that's seedy, I mean, the Delightful Snail's not bad, but otherwise the Oil Pickle's the best of both worlds. It can do, if you're looking for cheap, seedy places, then for otherwise drinking or sleeping, then the Oil Pickle works. If you're looking for somewhere more reputable, it also works. It's just a bit of both. Again, vertical city, so it accommodates multiple levels.
Out of curiosity, from my friend on the shoulder, are there any places that sell cheese or specialize in mycology?
Mycology?
Mushrooms.
Oh yeah, head down to the Ivy Hills below. They grow them in abundance down there. They're one of the main food sources and light sources that are organic, from what I understand. A few tricks that apparently came from overseas. Otherwise, the only one which I could think which might be useful to you is it's a tavern, but Meroetta's Grove. The Tully family own it. They're a very reputable family for growing particularly rare herbs. If you're looking to buy anything from them, you'll seek better luck elsewhere. But they do grow particular herbs which used to be quite rare and now very much in abundance, and they monopolize on as being very good. So you might be able to get something from them. Otherwise, cheese, not so much. People don't eat cheese around here. There's not much dairy. People don't have cows nearby. There's pasture land nearby, but they don't use cheese. Something to do with it doesn't sit well.
More sort of beef and mutton?
And
pork?
A lot of their stuff is cold food. You're not going to find much hot food around here.
Okay. That's good to know.
That's weird, but okay.
That's really... I mean, hey, there are things that you'll find as you get closer, but that's about it. Most of it will be kind of fruits, salads, various vegetables that you can eat fresh. Sushi's a big one. Quite a lot of that.
What's sushi?
Take a raw fish and stick it in some rice.
I don't think Kay's had rice either. What's rice?
It's a grain.
Hmm.
You might like it, I don't know.
He had me at raw fish, to be honest.
I know they don't do much cheese. I know they do use some milk, but most of it goes to other things, not cheese. They don't really have anywhere for cheese nearby. Not that suits the climate. There's nowhere dry. That's further north. Anyway, I need to get to bed because we need to get moving in the morning.
Of course, many thanks, and I think he's given me far more information than the bit that I overheard from the other person. So he gets a gold piece.
Okay, you give him a gold piece. He thanks you.
Have a good night.
Kind of nods and then wanders off, tossing the coin in the air and catching it.
And
As I finish putting up the tent, I'm sending out Jeff to point them in the direction that our camp is, so they too know where we are.
Okay. As Jeff finds them, Jeff becomes a very occasional pointer dog and point the rest of the party back to the campsite.
Cool.
Okay. You head back to camp, you settle in, and you begin to experience the night. Do you wish to take watches, seeing as you only have 2 tents? Or are you going to do 3 per tent?
I mean,
I'm not sleeping in a tent.
Okay, so you're sleeping
if
outside.
There's a tree nearby, I'm sleeping in the tree.
There are no trees nearby.
Dang it!
There haven't been with any of the
No
campsites. Don't have trees, so that you can't have anybody hiding in them.
are there rocks or?
There's rocks. There's a few. There's like long grasses around here that have been trampled down for the most part, and quite a lot of it's been eaten as it's natural pasture land for wild horses. But other than that, no, there's not really anything.
What's the weather like? Is
Clear.
it cold?
It's clear, but it's a little bit windy.
A bit windy.
Sorry about that.
Well, I'm gonna go on the assumption that me and Romulus put our bigger tent up closer to a rock, so I can lean on that to sleep.
Okay.
So are you
I'm
taking
more-
watches, yay or nay?
I'm more than happy to take a watch. If there's a lot of other people around, it should be okay.
There's a lot of other people around, yeah.
I mean, if I can take a watch on my own, and then we can maybe like do 3 of us rather than. I mean, there's only 4 of us here anyway, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be worth doing watches just in case of any.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
so-
take a watch.
I'm.
Yeah,
Whoa, cat! That's called stealing. Yeah,
That's
I'm
I
happy
mean,
to
I
take.
took your watch.
Get wrecked.
Damn, I've been fobbed off. That was a poor pun. Yeah, I'm happy to take the first watch.
Damian goes to go to bed and realizes that his shield is gone.
Oh well, yeah,
And his
undoubtedly.
face. Replaced with like a rubber duck or something.
It's just like Skyrim, where they're just like 1 minute they're fully clothed with everything in their inventory, next minute there's nothing.
Yeah,
Yep.
amazing.
Takes a
I-
watch,
I
goes
want
to
this
go back,
happen.
and then realizes that like the whole of his splint armor is gone. He's down in his underclothes, no gauntlets, nothing. He's like, sure, I was wearing something earlier.
Wearing marigolds. He managed to replace them with marigolds. Just for fun of it. Yeah, I'll take second watch.
Third then?
Cool.
Kay, did you want to assist in a watch or no?
I'll take a watch with Vinny.
Okay. Alrighty then. So, first watch, go ahead and roll me a perception check, please.
Oh, that'll be with disadvantage because no light, correct?
There are campfires around tonight.
Oh my god, I get away with no dark vision.
Mm-hmm. You're doing first watch. If you did second or third, you would be without campfires, though.
Phew. think, giving us perception, that's a 13.
Okay. There are some late travellers, individuals who are making it to camp late at night, ones who are kind of moving in, they set up their tent, and then they just immediately go to sleep. And there are also notably, you take note that the flame keepers are otherwise keeping their fires going constantly, and they are on rotation. They are going to be up through the night. That's all there is really to it.
Cool.
Next watch.
That will be me.
Cat. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a check with disadvantage, please, as your fires have now gone out.
No, I am going to be using Jeff.
Oh, and Jeff is an owl now. That's right.
Yeah.
Roll me a perception check with Jeff, please.
So wait, is Cat just like using a remote control inside a tent?
That's +3. Oh, do I get to use the keen hearing and sight?
Yes.
So it has
Advantage.
advantage on wisdom.
Okay. So yeah, you'd be able to
Okay.
make a second roll.
Excellent. 15.
15. Okay. Jeff is keeping an eye out, and you do know there are a few people who are moving around from place to place, probably either late drunkards or individuals who are exchanging tents for a short time. But outside of that, nothing out of the ordinary.
Fair. Fair. Okay. Well, I will head back in and wake
Okay, and Vinny.
Kay, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Just let them know that there are people that seem to be losing their tents. That's about it.
Okay.
Okay. And Vinny and Kay, you are now on watch.
I apologize.
Perception.
Mm-hmm. Whoop.
That would have been a 14 if it didn't get stuck on the die.
Or it might have been better, because it might have kept rolling and hit that 20, who knows.
21 over here.
my-
Your dice are too close, Sudz. Spread them out.
I've been splitting them up. People keep moving them together.
Wait, what?
I keep splitting
go.
my die up, and they keep ending up together.
Maybe they want to be
Don't know
together.
about
Well,
that.
yeah. Let them be them. Stop
Yeah.
pressing them.
So, okay, during the night you are mildly distracted to the thought of this strange bridge city which is stacked vertically and with mushrooms growing at the bottom and weird tavern names. Is there anything you wish to do during the night? I'll say, Vinny, you don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Give me a minute.
Do we want to take a quick break there, actually, as that's a good point, and we'll get back
Yeah,
to you two in a
sure.
moment.
Yeah, I can make a
on.
cup of tea.
Okay. We'll be back in just a minute. We're just going to take a quick break. I'm going to go and refill on drink and grab a snack. Be back.
Aye.
Hello.
I'm back.
Hello.
Ah.
I think Damian forgot to tell the party something.
Hmm?
All the tents started going in second watch.
All the tents started going in second watch. What?
That's what I thought was said. No, isn't that what Cat not noticed? No?
Oh, people were going in and out of tents.
Oh, I misunderstood. I did find it peculiar that some of the tents were beginning to go missing, and I was like, right, they're just like forms left sort of sleeping where the tents were.
No, just people heading in and out of their tent.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Kay was awake during the whole of second watch and just nicking all the tents.
Hey, possibly. Not this time though.
How was what was the grove called again? Marietta's Grove, something like that.
It is. Let me scroll down to it. Meroetta's. Meroetta. Oetta.
Okay. Cool.
Meroetta's
That's-
Grove.
And the other thing was, I got it as a dredge squill, but I'm pretty sure I
The
misheard that.
Dredge Swill.
Well, that makes more sense. Let's say what?
Dredge
Cool.
Squirrel is the sound of a sick tavern. Just saying.
Oh, not squirrel, squill.
Oh.
But dredge squirrel would be hilarious.
If I'm ever rich, I'm owning a tavern and calling it Dredge Squirrel just for fun. Provided energy prices go down again.
Yeah, but you don't need to heat food in Zaker's Crossing, so that reduces energy costs.
Okay.
I mean, there's always the slight concern that your tavern might suddenly sag, apparently.
Just a bit. Most of it is well fortified, but you know, he's got to keep up some appearances.
So it gets its calcium,
So,
drinks its milk.
Unicorn
I don't
Jamie
know.
back yet?
No Unicorn Jamie and no Sudz yet. I was the first one
Sudz
back.
Sudz has messaged me and saying he can't talk because his brother's being an arse.
Okay, fair enough.
Hmm.
So we just after Yorkshire tea brewing person.
Yep. Which does mean, unfortunately, you won't be able to have the conversation between Kay and Vinny, unfortunately.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
What's wrong?
Unfortunately, Sudz's brother's being an arse, so he's not able to talk right now, which means we can't have the interaction. But that means you can get to have it another time. Hopefully it's still convenient and relevant, just write it down. Now, hopefully you can still hear me, Sudz. We didn't actually discuss that. Either way. Shall we continue?
Yes.
Okie dokie. So, as daylight comes back around, you each wake up in the early hours of the morning. It is a nice and clear day today.
Nice.
The weather is nice, the wind is up, and you can otherwise feel the air rushing past as you're otherwise on the edge of Featherfall Gorge. Campsite's not far from the edge, a little ways off, but you can see a main road that's otherwise leading up, and it is proceeding to get harder. And you're travelling along the road now?
One thing that I was going to mention to the party is there apparently a queue builds up quite quickly at the gates, so I suppose we better get a move on.
Okay, that's cool.
It's again an
Yeah,
early
we're going to
start.
wait for, so.
Okay. I would like everyone to roll initiative for me, please, for waking up early.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Please roll in that one. Please roll in that one. Please roll in that
I am
one.
going to say, because Romulus talks in his sleep, he would have known that, so I'm going to give him he's going to be fine. Well, he rolled a natural 1, so... Right. Romulus is sleeping in, as always.
And Lloyd?
18, and I'll
Lloyd's
be
also-
waking Romulus up.
Lloyd's also sleeping in. How are you waking up, Romulus?
I'm gonna get his bag of spices and shake it above his head while poking him. Hey, can I cook food? Romulus, food? Breakfast?
That's a natural one. He's in a deep sleep.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm not going to be that mean to Romulus. He bolts upright. I know it's a natural one, but still. He bolts upright and otherwise looks over at you. Cat, I'll make breakfast real quick and takes the spices from you.
Can I help?
Sure.
Oh.
Roll me a survival check. With advantage, because you have Romulus's help.
Oh, good, because that's a +1, so here we go. 14 isn't bad, actually.
With Romulus's help, it's a decent meal. Excuse me.
Let's go. Cool. And then I will go around making sure everyone who isn't up is now up.
Oh, I
Okay.
rolled a 6.
That's fine. For you, that's not too bad. I mean, it's basically just DC 5, so the only people who failed it would be Lloyd and Romulus. So, people who aren't here, so that's fine. They are woken up by the rest of you, though. As you otherwise get up, grab your things, unpack your tents. You don't have to worry about your carts. You just unhitch your horses and you go. Keeping up a
Did
fair
we-
pace, you are slower than carts, though.
Did we use a day of rations?
Yes.
Did they go away?
Mhm.
Right.
Yep, everyone would use a day of rations. I will go in and I will edit the character sheets of those who aren't here. As they have also used a day's rations. So where am I going? Lloyd and Romulus.
Yeah, please don't get rid of another ration from me.
Don't need to. Alright, where are... Oh my goodness, where are Romulus's rations?
Oh no!
Well, he's got a combination of a lot of things, isn't he?
Yeah, he as always, he's got the biggest inventory compared to the rest of you because he writes everything down. Nothing has weight though.
It checks out.
It's not like he needs to worry. So, oh come on, screen. There we go. I don't see the rat rations in here, so I'm just going to take away as one of regular ration. Right, there we go. That's one regular ration removed from Romulus.
They're not
And
rations, they were rat jerky, weren't they saved us under?
oh yeah, that's right. And Lloyd, oh his rations are over here. He has 3 rations. Okay, cool. So you'll probably need to pick up some more later. So, waking up the next day, you travel back onto the open road and begin your journey. Who's next to roll on the encounter table?
That would be a Sudz who can't say anything but can at least move his mouse.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
good enough for me.
19.
Oh no! Oh no!
19.
Panic! At least it wasn't nat 20.
Okay. So, as you're walking along the path, you see what looks to be in the distance. Well, actually, no. First, you see what looks to be the road gives away. The earth disappears, and you begin to see what looks to be this kind of almost creamy coloured bridge made of stone. You can see that it's several hundred feet wide, and it's just this open space that leads straight down with a wall on either side that's maybe 10-20 feet high. You can see large towers and turrets that are beginning to kind of poke up here and there further back, and they are set about a ways off, and you're just about to come on to this bridge itself as you can see the immensity of Zaker's Crossing that spans the gorge. And you can understand why this bridge is massive. But notably, and I'll say this is something that all of you would pick up, there are no seams in the bridge. No mortar of stone being put together. And Kay,
Wow.
you feel nothing for the first time in your life. No mild itching, no mild headaches from your party, no nothing. And yet this place is aglow with magic. This is Kay's new home. Yep. Understandable. Understandable reaction.
Yeah.
You otherwise feel the wind as it is otherwise rushing past. And in this instance, it is very high wind, as it would be expected coming from a gorge. Even a gorge this large. You walk down the centre. Do you walk near the edge to look over the side? What do you do? You can see there are a number of carts otherwise beginning to pick up pace and go forward to try and pass you to get closer to wherever the entrance to Zaker's Crossing is.
I'm not going near the edge. I'm going very much more to the centre.
Yeah, Damian doesn't really want to look over the edge.
There's railings, right?
Yeah, they're about 10-20 feet
Yeah,
high,
I'll-
so you'd need to climb up them to even see over the edge.
Well, definitely can't do that then.
The only thing Damian would be looking for would be for a rock.
There are no rocks.
Thank goodness for that. People below are safe.
You're going to go up to the edge, Vinny?
Yeah, I'll take a quick look.
Okay. You otherwise head over to the edge and you go to climb on top of the edge so you can otherwise see over. And Kay's going with you, apparently.
Okay. Yeah, I'll head over, clamber up a little.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check then, please. As you approach the railing, you can see that where you would usually expect places where you kind of dig your fingers into where there would be mortar that would separate bricks, it is a smooth surface. So this is going to be very difficult to climb as is without any form of magic or assistance otherwise.
Hmm. That is a 13.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that won't do it.
No. You attempt to climb up, otherwise attempting to climb, you get about 7-10 feet before you slide back down to the bottom, landing safely, but otherwise unable to climb up and over. The rest of your party otherwise standing and watching you as you try this. Okay, you're going to try? Go ahead and roll me an athletics check then, please.
Can I attempt to boost KO?
Yeah. I'll say you give him assistance, so give that advantage. Okay, so that'll be 15 plus... Is that plus 0? Plus 6 on your athletics?
Sorry, read it wrong. 0.
Ah, were you looking at acrobatics?
Yeah.
Ah, makes sense.
Sounds like he's having a party.
This is
Like his
brother.
brother is.
So, as you otherwise attempt to climb up, trying to get the best hold with Vinny's help, you are pushed up enough that you can get your claws onto the edge, but there's no digging in. You can't dig your claws in. You can't do anything. Even as you harden them to metal to try and dig into the stone, you leave not a scratch as you try and pull yourself up and clamber onto the top. I will say go ahead and make me one last athletics check to try and push yourself up over the edge, because that would be just off of it. With enough of your upper body strength, you pull yourself up and onto the edge, which is a good 10 feet thickness around the side of this. Not to, discredit the rest of the 200 plus feet of its width from one side to the other, but you can look over and you see a gorgeous horizon. You can see the gorge cutting through the valley on either side, covering the horizon here. The distance of otherwise the deep blue further away that your eyes can just about pick up. The rivers that otherwise cut through into large valley, not into valleys, but into kind of their own sections of their gorge into this. Large lakes that have otherwise built up around natural dams and rolling otherwise mountains that are down there. It is a beautiful sight to behold. But you also note that it is several thousand feet down. And it is certainly a drop.
Do not fall.
No. I assume you rejoin the rest of your party?
Bad day to go base jumping.
Yeah. Without Featherfall, yeah. There's a reason it's called Featherfall Gorge. Okay. Kay returns to the rest of the party, as you otherwise reconvene and continue onwards. I would like all of you to roll me athletics checks, please, as you are travelling along this road as it is.
What?
As you are having carts go past you, inconveniently so,
Dope.
overtaking you. Actually, those of you on horseback wouldn't need to worry about this, so
Oh, that's right
Yeah.
then. Me and
Oh,
Lloyd.
do I need to worry
Yeah.
about this?
yes, because you are the horse.
Oh.
Athletics, it's a 16.
16. Lloyd and Damian don't need to worry about this. Romulus got good 17 plus probably 6, maybe 7. So 24
He's
at least.
fine.
Yeah. And then Cat.
I think we should just go past what Cat got.
Okay.
Oh no.
I got 1. I
Okay.
rolled a 2, but I have a
And-
-1 to my
and-
thing.
Kay's riding Damian's horse as always. So Damian. So
Of course.
Kay's fine. So, Cat, as you're trying to push on, the rest of your party is kind of having to slow for you. It's a very... Trying to keep up a fast pace isn't good given the amount that you are actually carrying on your person. And despite offer of help from Romulus, it's like, no, it's fine. You've got books, you've got everything on your person as you're otherwise pushing on, trudging on. But eventually, after about an hour or two's travel into and onto this bridge, you can see what looks to be a large archway, which looks to be in place here. The archway seems to span the majority of this. It has various supports along the way, forming almost like miniature arches within this big archway. But you see that it spans the kind of the area here, the large width of this bridge. You can see that there are loads of guards here in what looks to be a kind of a chainmail and bright yellow armor set. Just gonna make sure that was actually correct armor colours. Yes, they are. You see that they're otherwise bannered to look like a yellow and black, divided into a checkered pattern. On there, what looks to be a tunic that would go over the top of their chain armor, and you can see that on their heads they have a simple metal cap with what looks to be a extended metal rim across around the top of it. Very Oliver Cromwell design.
Ah.
And you can see that as they are otherwise standing there, there are hundreds of them standing in this section. Majority of them carry billhooks. For those of you who knows what a billhook is, it's kind of basically like a glaive, but it's got a large hook on the end for fishing. And you can see that the rest of them either carry spears, swords, and shields, or maces and shields. All of them are equipped with lanterns. And all of them are filled with convenience crystals of a yellow variety.
Let's go.
They all kind of stand there and look out across as they are watching, and as caravans are brought in, they go through and they random check. But you can see people are travelling in and out. And you've been passing by a few people, but there's quite a lot more moving out as it is now getting into the main morning here. People are leaving, heading out on horseback, heading out on carts. You can see these large wagons that are heading out with about 22 people per cart as they're heading out to potentially do a day's labour, you're not sure. But behind the archway is the rest of the meat of the city, to which you see a multi-tiered city of wood, stone and steel, set up as layer after layer after layer to about 9-10 layers of city, spanning this 200-foot wide bridge for who knows how long in the other direction. You can see that a number of the towers in this area have otherwise been refitted with what looks to be almost scaffolding going around the outside of it, going to the top, where there's these massive flames. and you watch as otherwise zooming overhead in almost a momentary motion of looking, investigating, and moving on, is this massive, almost wooden construction with a humming gem in the center and these 4 massive dragonfly-like wings that are otherwise humming in place as this person mounted on the inside currently looks over and inspects before buzzing off at high speed off into the sky above. Where now those of you with a higher investigation or passive perception are beginning to see there are rocks floating around this area. Large, white, opalescent rocks floating in the sky, connected by these long tethers that connect to the large towers on the outside of the bridge. You begin to see what looks to be more of these contraptions flying around in almost swarms, it would seem, moving through the sky itself, and these large defensive setups around the actual city itself. You can also see that the city itself has several ways in. Will look to be large, almost created and crafted stone archways and tunnels that lead down, ladders and staircases that lead up to the next levels and beyond. It is a bizarre, bizarre city.
Anybody seen anything like this before?
No, never.
Anybody want to find out what it's like?
It looks very, very vertical.
Well, as long as it's all stairs instead of ladders, you should be fine.
There are stairs instead place of ladders in places.
I'm sure there's cranes if the ladders won't do.
Yep. Yep.
So, you all approach.
Yep.
I would like everybody to roll me a d20, please.
Oh, yippee.
And given your 19 for the day, I will be taking the 4 lowest instead of the 2.
Oh, wow. Take that roll. Oh, well, thank you.
Okay.
I hate this dice.
Vinny and Damian, you two are not checked.
Nice.
The rest of you are. If any of you have blood crystals on you or any of that veil spit on you, please say so now as they are contraband.
Oh, come on! I've got
Um,
all the blood crystals on me.
Cat's carrying all the blood crystals?
Yes.
How many?
It was the 2 packages of 4.
So you got 8 blood crystals on you.
Yeah.
Okay, time to skim through Romulus's inventory and see if he's got anything illegal in here.
Didn't think about the blood crystals.
You were warned ahead of time not to have anything contraband on you.
Yep.
No, Lloyd is clean. So is Romulus. So, Cat. As you are stopped by guards, the guards otherwise heading over to your particular group, and one of them kind of stops and goes, "Excuse me, just going to check your group. You're otherwise heading in as opposed to heading out for the day, so I would like to, we would otherwise like to do an inspection of your group. Let's see, I'll go with the big man. You look a bit weird," points at Lloyd. Little one, you might be carrying something, and you got saddlebags, so I'll check you. You watch as 2 other guards otherwise come over. Cat, you remember you have blood crystals in your saddlebags. What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'll be just straight up honest. But as they go in, so I have got some blood crystals in my bag. I genuinely don't know where to dispose of them yet safely. If you can dispose of them, by all means, take them, get rid of them.
Roll me
Bold
a
strategy, Cotton.
roll me a persuasion check with disadvantage, please.
In fairness, I don't know what to do with them.
No, that's fair, but you know, this is...
Well. Oh, hang on.
It's
I
persuasion.
recall rightly, I'm not very good at this stuff, am I? Persuasion is 2. Okay, so that's 12.
12. Okay.
Not too bad.
I need to quickly check what the wisdom is for a guard. Because this will matter, because he rolled a natural 10. A town guard has a wisdom plus of +0. So in this instance, as you otherwise mention this, one of the guards kind of looks at him and just goes, "You know we should detain them, right?" And he just goes, "Yes, but she was very forthcoming, and she's young." He steps up, and he takes the 2 packages. You may now remove them from your inventory.
Hey.
Thank you for being very forthcoming. We will obviously still check the rest of your persons in case you are hiding anything else on you, so please, if you have anything else, hand it over now, or we will obviously find it.
I may have deadly mushroom.
What's okay? What do you want to do?
I have weird mushrooms. I don't know what they do. I heard you guys can tell me what they do here. I need help.
Okay.
That's rough.
You watch as the other way, as the guard kind of goes, "Thank you for letting us know. Hold on a moment." As the other way looks over and kind of looks around. Just wait here a moment, and you watch as he kind of jogs over to one particular area and kind of talks to someone, and jogs back with what looks to be kind of this older looking kind of female human, wanders over. Same kind of garb, still wearing the chain armor, but she seems to be older, probably in her later 50s. As she otherwise comes over and just goes, "You said something about mushrooms?"
Yes.
She otherwise has a look over them. What are they? Which ones?
The only ones that I know that are deadly are the lady's parasol, and I have 2 of those. 2 of the deadly ones.
Lady's parasol is also the one that's
Oh
edible.
no, I only
aren't
have 1. There was a toxic one and a non-toxic one.
they?
The healthy one was non-toxic. The unhealthy one was toxic.
Okay. In which case
And
you look.
then
Okay, so you don't have any others that are poisonous or dangerous at all.
I don't think, but can double check.
Yeah.
I
What
got
did
the
you have?
liver skin. I got lady's parasol, liver skin, hag's brain, and widow's fever. I think widow's fever was also dangerous. I'm not sure.
Widow's fever
it.
and liver skin were both dangerous. Yes. Actually, no. Widow's fever wasn't. Oh no, Widow's fever is. Okay. Okay. In which case, she otherwise looks over and goes, "There are a few dangerous ones here. Not necessarily illegal. Are you intending to use them, or just getting them identified?"
Wanted them identified. I was going to eat them.
I'll take a few of these off your hands, then. The widow's fever will give you a very poorly stomach, and the liver skin will do no good for you. And the liver skin will do no good for your stomach either, but it can be used to make a balm that helps burns if you're planning on using it for more healthy stuff.
I'm learning to do medicine things.
Then I'll let you hold on to the liver skin, but I'll take the widow's fever if that's okay.
Sure. I believe I ate that one, didn't I?
I don't remember. I don't remember which ones you've eaten. That's not on my
Hold on.
list.
It's on my sandwich list. Come on, where is it?
I want to see this document.
No, not until
Yup,
the end
I
of the
did.
campaign. Okay.
Damn
I,
it.
Yes,
I
you've already
had-
eaten the widow's fever.
I
Okay.
had 6 slices of Buddha's fever.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
She otherwise looks at it and goes, I'll take that one then. That one's quite a nasty one. You can keep the rest. They all seem fairly okay. One of those ladies' parasols seems to have gone off, though, so I recommend getting rid of that. But other than that, the rest of them all look okay.
Okay.
Otherwise,
That's it for me.
Okay.
I don't have anything else that's
Okay.
illegal.
So you're clean on that front as well. Okay.
I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Lloyd surely has illegal things on him.
Nope.
Wow. And congrats, Vinny, on rolling really high. You got away with it, probably.
Do you have anything illegal?
Illegal.
Of interest?
I've got a lot of stuff, but I don't think any of it's
Illegal.
illegal.
I'm so
Same
glad
as
Romulus
Romulus.
gave over that keg.
That would have been. Oh, with his persuasion. No.
Would have been seen from a mile away. That was a guy carrying a keg.
my
What
God.
was going on there?
Oh my goodness, that would have been fun. Well then, that'll be all. You're welcome to all go into the city. What do we have names-wise, please, for our documentation?
Cat's Eye Chania Jeff.
Um,
Go point to each as I say.
Right. The chain is okay. Writes that down. And the parrot/owl, the crystal owl thing is a Jeff.
That's Jeff.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. You points at Damian.
Bear with me 1 second.
Gotta get your name up.
Bear with me.
Brace yourself. This is
I'm
gonna get
doing
intense.
something.
Oh, you're not making up a name, are you?
No.
He's probably trying to find out his whole bonkers name that he's got. That moment when you need a document just for your name.
What are you?
Yeah, I
what are you
know.
looking up? He's getting suspicious.
I am. I'm getting very suspicious. Hang on. Oh no, that's not gonna work. I know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to look for who back in. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. Bear with me. It'll be a thing. I will find it.
It will be a thing. All right. Okay.
Go to another for the moment.
Okay. For the moment, I'll pass it to somebody else. So Romulus and Lloyd say their names because they're not here to say otherwise. Vinny.
I'm Vinny.
Okay. Vinny. Is K here? Nope. We'll say K uses his actual name, K.
Oh,
That's K with a K, just in case you were confused.
I think I got it. Thank you. And Damian.
I like to imagine they're just looking and there's just this really awkward silence.
Hey, I found one of them. My goodness. Thank goodness for that. My name is Sir Ganon.
Right. Thank you. Roll me a persuasion, or roll me a deception check for that, because you took a while to give up that one.
Desperate to like find the name of the one person I was looking for, defeated by the person who trained me.
Cat's looking really confused, like, huh?
Deception was it?
Yep.
That's a 15.
Okay. It doesn't bat an eye. Hold on. Actually, I got to roll for him first. Actually, no. He gives you kind of a evil stare, but then kind of just goes, fine. Right, well, thank you, and welcome all to Zaker's Crossing. Please stay, do not cause any trouble, and try not to try not to do anything harmful.
We'll do our best.
He otherwise looks at you for a moment, Vinny, and just goes, is this your first time?
In Zaker's Crossing, yes.
Okay. A lot of your natural heritage won't work here. Just saying.
Huh?
Fire magic doesn't work.
Fascinating. Hmm.
You know, if it's a city built on wood and a stacked variety, fires don't start.
So is it only fire magic doesn't work here?
That's no fire magic. None of that will work. Well, it'll work, but it won't catch. It'll be far weakened as well. That's thanks to the Smothering Crystals. And he points up to what looks to be these massive crystals that are just held in the sky by otherwise these large braces set into the city.
Looks at the buildings, looks at the things. Yeah, no, that does make sense.
Yeah. I'd have just built the city out of stone, personally, but I guess Zaker knew something I didn't.
Well, the
Well.
city when it first started was made of wood because of the nearby timber that was useful. They didn't really have the ability to build stone on here, given that there's no kind of stamps on the ground, foundation really. It wasn't until we started making some fusing mechanisms that we could work, we couldn't set anything very easily. You do know that the bridge is impeccable condition. It is not taken a chip. It is smooth and clean. Also, yes, I made an indirect joke. I just realised. Don't.
Yeah.
It's taken on one chip, but that's not the point.
Oh dear.
Terrible.
I know.
Anyway, enjoy your stay.
Many thanks.
Are you back, Sudz? No.
No.
Okay.
So, we should look for somewhere to stay.
I've got a number of recommended places we could stay, but are you after shady or reputable?
No, I quite like the sun. Reputable. Though, what's that to do with the sun?
Well, we can always switch over to Shady later.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
could
I mean,
do.
it could get quite hot.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean,
Let's
if we
go
can't,
for
if
look-
we can't light a fire, Shady's probably a bad idea to go to.
Okay, so what's the sunny places to stay?
We could go to the Dragon's Rest, which my source said was not bad, but he suggested a better idea is the Firefly Stack.
Firefly stacks, plural.
Firefly Stacks, not Fireflies Stacks. Cool.
Firefly stacks. Okay. Then in that case, so from what I can get, there's like information things everywhere, right? In this place.
Apparently.
What you're saying? Okay. I'm gonna go and see if I can find someone that looks like they know what they're doing or like approachable.
Somebody. on the
Make
corner
me
of
an
the
investigation check.
Good luck.
Well, if anyone's going to be able to do an investigation check, it's probably going to be me.
Oh,
Plus,
nice.
that's 24.
Approachable to cat standards, that's everyone. Approachable in reality, that's barely no one around here.
Does
Okay.
anyone have a smile?
There are several people smiling, yes. There are people
That's the first person
enjoying
I
their
see.
day. Okay. Yeah, okay, so you're near the entrance and you head up to some people that are kind of smiling, enjoying their morning. It is early morning, but there seems to be like this open cafe at the front. It all looks to be kind of just a metal table on the outside, some chairs, and you can see that these two are currently just sat talking and kind of both smiling as one of them kind of leans back and looks over. Yeah?
Sorry to bother you while you're doing social things. Do you know where the Firefly Stacks is?
Yeah, head to the centre of town.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. I'm going to run back to the rest of the party. Yeah, centre of town.
Okay. Your passive perception is too low. But Lloyd picks it up as he says, as this individual says, "Damn tourists."
They're Cornish. No.
Welcome to Cornwall Plus Plus, Jamie.
Oh boy.
You're
I wanna
staying
get out
here
of here.
forever.
I don't want to play Cornwall. Game.
So
Oh.
where did they say we should be headed, Cat?
Centre of town.
Was that a cafe over there? Did they sell any sort of pastries, sort of semicircular shape?
I don't know. I literally just asked her where the Firefly Stacks was, and I
Then
didn't go.
again,
Can I see your circular shaped pastry, please?
they'd
'Cause
be
that would've been a
cold
bit weird.
anyway, wouldn't they,
What?
Kay? That's unfortunate.
You know what? I think the last of Kay's problems is going to be the fact that it's cold.
Oh no, I was referring to a particular type of food, but usually it's heated. I mean, I don't think it's that nice cold.
What? Okay, shall we go to Firefly Stacks? Centre of town?
Lead the way, Cat. You must know where the centre of the town is.
Well, I just assume it's going further in. We're on the
You're
outskirts.
just going to go straight on.
Yeah.
Is that what you're suggesting? Okay.
Okay. You can see what looks to be a large central archway and tunnel which leads almost straight through the city. Do you wish to go through there?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Travelling through, as you travel through this main kind of stone archway that has been built, you can see that it's set into areas around it with what looks to be magic holding the interior of it in place and attached to the bridge. There seems to be a lack of foundation here, as God explained. And you can understand why if they can't make any holes to fill with cement or any other form of construction material, so they have to make do. As you otherwise travel through this main hallway, you can see that there are a number of areas that kind of branch off and shoot off into these slopes that lead up to almost these wooden ramparts above. You can see areas that lead off to kind of areas to the left and right where they go into almost darker alleyways and then beyond. But through this main thoroughfare, where the arches are in place, you can see that a little ways in, it opens up into this massive, almost cylindrically open chamber that leads up and out of the city. And from in here, you can see the full 6 stacks of this particular early portion of the city, as it does begin to get higher and higher stacking-wise the further in you go. But as you reach this kind of first stack, you can see a plethora of shops, various individuals trading, talking, cafes that are open to the front. You can hear the sounds of people just working in workshops and talking. The day has become a buzz in this otherwise still fairly early morning, but otherwise a much more awakened city. You can see that there are various platforms and ramps that lead up to the next platform and kind of spiral round and upwards, kind of showing off these various shops. And you can see as you get close to the top, they seem to turn into more residentials that look out and over this clearing. It is a beautiful sight to see, but you can see that this central clearing also leads off into other passageways. What do you wish to do?
Well, I've got here.
I want to see if I can actually purchase a small item. So, is there a shop that might be selling paraphernalia associated with weaponry?
Paraphernalia in weaponry? Excuse me?
Yeah, so I'm looking for a whetstone, basically.
Oh. Looking around, there doesn't seem to be that many weapons and armor shops, surprisingly. And you imagine that that's quite possibly due to the fact that they can't run a forge in this city.
Huh.
No fire means no heat. No heat means no melting of metal nor cooking. Which leads to some very interesting developments within the city. But looking around, there doesn't seem to be any in this first clearing. You might find some further in, but not here.
Okay, I'm going to approach a vaguely reputable looking shop
Okay.
and
As
ask
you
the proprietor.
Okay. As you approach the shop front, you can see that there's otherwise this kind of boy, maybe 12, 13 years old, currently standing in front of a stand. And as he sees you approach, he kind of runs up. "Would you like a daily magazine, sir? It's only 5 silver."
I don't think so, but you might be able to help me with something else.
Oh, it'll cost you more.
It'll cost me more than a daily magazine.
Of course. Daily Magazine has all the information you'll ever need around this place, or you can ask me a personal question, or a single question, and I will sell it to you for more. Maybe 5 gold, perhaps, seeing as you're a out-of-towner.
Hmm. Oh, I thank you for your offer, but I was actually looking to talk to the proprietor of the shop.
He steps to one side, lets you pass, blows a raspberry as you go by, and goes back to other individuals. Okay. He doesn't seem to notice the rest of you who are kind of lingering nearby as he goes up to another individual like, "Would you like a daily magazine, sir? Only 5 copper." Sells it to the next gentleman who does seem to want it and moves on.
Bastard. I'm gonna enter the shop and look for the proprietor.
Okay, looking around, you can see this seems to be a woodworking shop. It's fairly otherwise well made, well maintained. You can see there's a variety of furniture around here. You can see there's otherwise large bottles of oil that are scattered around the place, and you can see otherwise in the back what looks to be this rather large kind of Goliath-shouldered individual, kind of dark black skin, kind of darker red hair, as he otherwise is leaning over and working what looks to be this large table, kind of grinding backs and forwards with one of the tools for such a job. As you otherwise enter, and he kind of hears the footsteps, he turns around. Welcome. What can I get you today?
Greetings. I was after directions to Firefly Stacks.
You're
We seem to have got ourselves a bit lost.
If you're looking for something like that, you need to head further in. There's another main thoroughfare that goes through, runs up through the main city itself. Should be the first cloud window on your right.
Another thoroughfare, what, straight on or up? Sorry, I'm a bit lost.
Thoroughfares are straight through. If you're looking to go into the lantern hallways, then you'll head up. But if you're looking for that, you should just be at the next cloud window along the way.
Brilliant. Many thanks, and I put 2 silver on the counter.
Okay. Thank you. Scoops the silver up, puts it in his pocket. Have a nice day.
And you, sir. Thank you. I head back to
Goes back to his work.
Straight along the thoroughfare still.
Okay.
Right, let's keep moving then.
Ooh. Kay's mouse has moved. Is Kay back? Sudz?
dear.
His mouse is moving, so I'll take that as a yes, but he can't talk right now. So just to let you know what the party otherwise learned in the time you were here. Several stacks tall. You're heading through Central Thoroughfare, and it's been pointed out that there are these things called Smothering Crystals, massive crystals in the sky that are otherwise held in by large braces to the city itself that otherwise almost completely nullify fire magic from catching at all. Most notably, you are feeling no effects from any of the convenience crystals around here, nor any effect from that massive crystal in the sky that you can tell is blaring magic out in a massive radius. And there are several of them. You can even see the distant sparkles, even though you can't see the actual crystal itself. So, the rest of you are still standing in this current sky window.
I guess we continue along the thoroughfare.
Okay.
Travelling along the thoroughfare through to the next area. As you're travelling by various areas here, you can see what looks to be the side alley that cuts off to the right. And there's kind of this older gentleman who's otherwise sat there, and as he sees you go by, he kind of raises what looks to be this kind of simple tin can. And just goes, "Spare some change, sir?" He kind of otherwise rattles his cup a bit in front of you and the rest of your party.
Has Cat come across this sort of thing before?
No, this is something you wouldn't be used to.
Okay. What do you have to sell?
I'm a beggar.
What's a beggar?
They're people who.
I'm gonna lean over and give him 5 silver.
Very generous of you, sir. Thank you very much. He kind of takes the silver and has a look at them and kind of... You can see that the bottom of his cup had maybe 2 copper in. So you have been extraordinarily generous here.
Out of interest, sir. You haven't seen any. Bear with me. I'm gonna find descriptions again. You haven't seen a rather quite well built, curly brown haired male human, accompanied by a young human woman with bright pink hair?
Who's asking?
A friend of theirs.
He kind of squints at you and then rattles his cup.
I'm gonna put 5 silver in as Vinny did.
Can't say I have.
I want to insight him.
Go ahead.
I think that is a 15.
He's hard to read. You get a sense that he's being purposefully obtuse or dense, perhaps. But maybe he's just doing it to otherwise thrift you or con you of coins, you're not sure.
I'm gonna hold a further silver in my hand and sort of look at him like, will that help?
He looks at Vinny and looks back at you. Any spare change for this old beggar?
I'm really confused here.
Right.
Why are we giving him money?
Well, he's desperate and needy, and we have the means to help him. And I'll say a
Damian.
few more. I'll say a few more words to this effect while saying in Thieves' Cant. And presumably, he can help us as well. Just to see if that gets any response.
He looks at you and you catch a corner smile before kind of going back to his attitude as an older man. As he kind of rattles his cup, he nods slightly. And I will say, in Thieves' Cant back, you notice him otherwise move his hand in such a manner that gestures that he is one for trade, perhaps. And you've seen this kind of thing before. Beggars have eyes and ears in all manner of places.
So, this guy just wants the right price, effectively.
Well, it could be a trade of information. If he's got eyes and ears everywhere, he might pass information that might be valuable to others on, and we might get a piece of information back. So
No.
that could be potentially something that we've come across in recent weeks. So, for example, I don't know how valuable it would necessarily be to them, but say, for example, that the Bevets have passed away, or something like that, perhaps. It might be of value to somebody in Zaker's Crossing, and if they've all got eyes and ears to beggars, then it might get passed along to somebody who's going to be interested in that news. Just a thought.
This will be above game talk, because there's no way you'd be able to pick up on that.
I know.
So we can talk to this guy. He
What?
might know some stuff, but we need to give money. Is this what's going on?
You don't speak thieves' cant, so you wouldn't be able to pick up on that, Cat. It would just be... Unless Vinny said out loud.
No. It's more the fact that they're asking questions and hanging money in front of him, and it's more like,
Oh, she's putting the dots together.
yeah.
Well, if you can't help this old beggar, I guess he can go. Wouldn't want him dirtying up the streets now. He goes to stand.
Well, I certainly agree, taking out a gold piece and then a second. It would be much better if he were to get to himself somewhere warm for the evening. I'll take a third for good measure.
That would be very, very good. Maybe he can show you his usual spot for keeping warm. For such coin.
Damian's gonna
Well, that
look
does sound like a fair trade.
at the others like, huh?
I'll toss the 3 coins over to him.
He attempts to catch them in his cup. Dex save. Natural 2. He scoops them up off the floor. Well then, we best be off. And he otherwise begins to slowly slink down the alleyway.
Oh.
Going now? Is he
What?
taking us to?
He stops at the corner at the end of the alleyway and looks back at you all.
Why are we going down in
I mean, Kay's following.
Okay.
Sure, I'll follow if Kay's going. I mean,
Okay.
Cat sees nothing wrong with it.
Damian's gonna whisper to Vinny, are you sure about this? This seems concerning to me.
I mean, it's risky, but this doesn't seem like the kind of place where we get useful information safely.
I suppose I'm not very familiar with this sort of thing. I'll trust you, and hopefully it doesn't come back and bite us.
You follow?
Damian's gonna stay at the back of the group and keep his eyes out.
I am going to follow. I'll keep the front.
Okay. You said you were going to keep to where, sorry, Vinny? Front or back, sorry?
To the front of the
To the front.
group.
Okay. Going with the rest of the party into the alleyway, you note that the immediate light of the otherwise lanterned kind of stony hallway leads into immediate kind of wooden, almost ramshackle interior. You can see that as this alleyway has otherwise bled off into this darker area, there is a distinct lack of light, and Cat's horn is giving off a surprising amount in comparison to the rest of this dark space around. As this otherwise older human, by the looks of it, is wandering along the road, you can see other individuals passing on either side for those of you with dark vision, which would be Kay and Vinny. The two of you see what looks to be longer, kind of taller, lithe, lanky individuals. They look at you with kind of folded, floppy ears, long, pointed noses. As they wander past, you can see most of them are wearing large cloaks. And you can see as they otherwise wander past, some of them give you a few scowls and looks. Others are half-elves, the occasional dwarf, and quite a few kenku by the looks of it. Immediately, a very dramatic shift from the human and dwarf and dragonborn exterior that you were used to seeing in this exterior area, now leading into this very much different expanse. I will say, Vinny, as you are probably the only one who could possibly get this, please go ahead and roll me a nature check, please, on the taller, lanky figures.
Oh boy.
It's dark in this alley.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. I'm gonna experiment with something. I'm gonna put Jeff on my head, and I'm gonna look through Jeff.
Okay, so you can currently see, and you can see these creatures as well, but you would not have otherwise encountered them. Total there?
That's a 3.
That's a 3. You have not encountered them before. They are a new race to you. Something you've never seen before. As you're otherwise kind of...
What do they look like other than lanky?
They're lanky, kind of tall, kind of ears that stick out a bit and fold downwards, similar to that of maybe like a older elf or a goblin, and then kind of otherwise large noses that come out and point to a pointed end, kind of a thinner hair color, and with the dark vision you can't make out any colors at all. It's just black and white monochrome for you. As you travel down the alleyway a little ways, continuing to go, you can see other individuals moving past, and you can hear the sound of footsteps above. And as those of you with dark vision kind of look up, you can see that there is a walkway directly above you, and you can hear kind of the sound of thumping of feet as someone is running in the opposite direction. A few bits of dust kind of falling down to your current level, kind of marking the floor, which seems to be mostly uncleaned. But you can see a few individuals kind of sweeping. Houses that are maybe quite short in this particular area have been set up as such as you continue on this alleyway deeper and deeper into this off section away from the main central thoroughfare. Do you keep following?
This seems really weird, Vinny. Can you see anything untoward so far?
There's some people around, but no sign of an ambush or anything.
I guess we keep following.
Yeah.
I'm following your lead here.
I'll turn to the other guy. So how much further to go?
Not far. Just got a little ways and then we'll be there. As he otherwise keeps wandering, as he turns back to look at you, you see that his eyes have gone black as he's wandering. And you note that he is distinctly not human. Despite his features and everything, his eyes are not that of a human.
God, the sun, you blood!
Now would she say something?
Would-
Okay. Anything above a 10, I'm 100% gonna say something. Nope.
Okay. As you keep following this figure, he eventually reaches a doorway to where you watch as he presses himself up against the edge, and you watch as there's almost these tiny claws where his nails would be, scratches across lightly, and then knocks rhythmically with each of his fingers before pulling his hand back, and you hear the door unlock and open. People all around you in this kind of larger alleyway section of this area are looking your way. Various individuals kind of just sat in the open. Some in rags just sat there watching you as you pass, others in cloaks, and several weapon bearing, wandering around. No lanterns, no light in sight, and that tiny beacon of dim light that's coming from Cat's Horn is attracting a lot of attention. As you travel inside... Oh, actually, no. He will travel inside, and he turns around and looks at you and goes, "Come on in. We'll discuss further in here."
And where might exactly here be?
The agency.
I'll turn back to the others. I know it's risky, but we're all looking for things here.
Just curious. These people look different than normal people that I see, right?
Yep.
All right, I'm going in. I'm not hesitating.
Okay. And Kay
I'm
wanders
different
in.
than everybody.
Okay. Kay wanders in.
Ah.
You're gonna have to go in now.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Kay.
Okay. Is anybody staying
You
outside?
just hear him.
No, I'm going in.
Damian
This doesn't look like the inn.
It's probably better.
No, we're taking a bit of a detour, it seems.
Damian bites off a retort, starts to go towards the door, turns around to have a look around as if he's going to try and stay guard. I'm assuming he can't see a damn thing.
No, not at all. You are guided
it's-
to the door, and as you otherwise kind of go close to the door, a hand is put on your shoulder to guide and pull you in.
I'll
And,
hold his hand.
well,
Okay.
Cat's about to hear curses that I can't even mutter on scream, and then and then Damian goes in.
Okay. The door is
I'll
closed.
guide you.
The door is closed, and as that happens, as you otherwise look around, you see there is almost this faint glow as you look across the room. And to those of you with dark vision, can see that the room itself is a mild L shape, and there is this otherwise large hunched figure behind a desk. They're kind of looking down for a moment before the figure looks up. Two kind of piercing eyes looking across the room, almost like cat's reflective eyes, with what looks to be a cigar in their mouth, which isn't lit but still smoulders. Why have you brought them here? These are some interesting patrons. I thought they might interest you. They have some coin, and I thought they might be able to give you some... They might have information you have. If you're looking to pay back your debt, then consider it done if these individuals are worth our time. Alright. Lock the door on your way out, and you lot sit down. And you watch as he otherwise flicks a finger, and you watch as 4 chairs kind of squeak and pull themselves forward.
Wait, Damian can see anything?
I'll be guiding
No,
Damian.
you can just hear the squeaking.
Also, what happened to
Hey.
mine and Lloyd's horses?
They're
Poof!
tied up outside, I
They're out
guess.
there somewhere.
Poof, they've disappeared. We'll say Lloyd is standing outside with them, and Romulus is with him, hence the 4 chairs.
Right.
Kay is just gonna sit in one of the chairs and look like he's extremely calm about the situation.
I'm just gonna guide Damian over and just plonk in a chair, and then I'm gonna stare intensely at this chair as if like, well, how's this meant to work?
Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm gonna sit down and try and act casual.
Okay.
Attempt to appear less suspicious than I actually am.
I
You
mean,
will-
I could roll a dice, but Damian's definitely not gonna be feeling comfortable. He's gonna be fidgeting and be like, "What the hell's going on?" Especially if he can't see.
You watch as for you, Cat, you watch as he kind of looks at you and just kind of notes and kind of mutters to himself, and you watch as the chair lifts up, pushes itself to the back of a room, and a bench is pulled over as it squeaks across the floor.
Oh, thank you. Just gonna plonk down on the bench.
Yeah. He, at this moment, kind of waves a few fingers in the air, and you watch as these dancing lights just kind of appear in the air around him and begin to float amongst you all, giving you some light to see, but not enough to make out features. For those of you with dark vision, you can tell that he is an older individual, kind of very wrinkly, kind of sagging skin, as he kind of sits there and looks across the rest of you. A very hunched form. It's very difficult to tell what he is, but he looks human.
Question.
Mhm.
Does he kind of give off the same kind of vibe as the orca?
The
Was it
orca?
orca? The last group that I found.
Oh, in terms of vibe, yes. Actually, no. Not the same kind of vibe, but something more that you're looking for.
I see.
As he otherwise looks down. So, you lot, you're looking for something. The person who brought you here has otherwise excused himself and gone outside.
And apparently locked the door.
And apparently locked the door. To which Damian, no, not Damian, Lloyd and Romulus are outside, and they at the moment are panicking but holding onto horses. And to know that they can't leave the horses in fear of them being stolen, and therefore will not intervene because they are not here. So,
Yes, a few things. People, specifically.
people
I
are
think they passed through
expensive.
recently.
People are expensive, friend. But then again, looking at you, you're one who comes from a more reputable background of work. I can always owe favours for information, if that's what you'd prefer. And as he otherwise looks up and meets your eyes, you can see that his eyes are completely dilated black.
It's a generous offer. Do you mind if I ask some questions first?
By all
I feel
means.
rude to have turned up here and know nothing about you. To whom do I have the pleasure of making the acquaintance?
That information is way out of your league. None of you have enough coin for that. But you, Vinny, Cat, Kay, your friends outside, I'm going to assume are the two that came in with you, Lloyd and Romulus. And your name is fake, but I know that Sir Damian is on his way. So,
Wait, you're not Damian?
I gave a fake name to the guards, and
oh
somehow
yes, so
the
yeah.
guards blinked and didn't think too much of it.
I see. I wasn't here for that, sorry.
That's
No,
right.
that's fine. So, I know more about you than you know about me. I've got the upper hand, that's for sure. No, I'm not willing to go blabbing about your information if you're willing to work with me. You could call it blackmail if you know nothing less, but I'm willing to trade information. My prices will be higher, but in exchange, none of your information will make the streets. If you can't afford now, you can pay later. Or you can pay in work or favours.
What I'm guessing from this is if we want to know about your two people you're looking for, we need to work.
Possibly. For me or for somebody else, I don't particularly care where the money comes from. For all I care, you could go and take out one of those noble houses and steal all their coin and bring it here. It wouldn't matter to me. I can make it look like it came from elsewhere.
Only in it for the gold.
Not exactly. Information's a powerful tool in this city. There are plenty of people willing to pay price. Gold is one thing, but control, that's another.
And I'm willing to bet that none of the information we might possess will be of too much use to you because you probably already know it.
You catch on quick, you'll get around fine in this city.
Besides the fact that I'm a knight.
I said
I'm pretty
quickly,
darn
not
conspicuous.
quietly.
True.
You'll stand out like a sore thumb, but you can get the information you're after either way. All you need to do is pay up. If you can't afford it, then by all means you can come back. Put a reservation
So,
in place.
say I was after information on two specific people who may have come this way. How much would that cost me?
If they're who I think they are,
They
Then
probably are.
then the two you're after have become 4. Soon to become 5. I can tell you the information about the one that you're after. Looks mighty similar to you, I might add.
Don't doubt they do.
I know where he was headed, and what he has planned. I'm not one for intervening, but that's up to you. He's got some plans. Cost-wise for something like that? I could say 2 favours, 1 job, or 350 gold for the lot. Information on 4 people is expensive, especially with motives involved.
2 favours and 1 job.
2 favours or 1 job.
Huh. Now, job's gonna be interesting. What would favours mean?
Favours
Just in
are
general, not specific.
Favours are jobs that I'll call in later. And seeing as Zaker's Crossing is the only way through this unless you want to take a month hike round the Salt Spire swamps through the Magocracy, I'm pretty sure I'll know when you come through if you try to keep dodging me, or you're going to be stuck on the wrong side of the Alliance, son. He leans forward a bit, smoking heavily.
I shouldn't worry. I don't think I have any chance of dodging you.
He smiles, nods. Favours are jobs you can pay later. So it's 1 job now or 1 job later, depending on how desperately you need this information. Same
And
goes for you, Vinny. There's information in it for you on the same terms. I don't know who you're looking for. You got me a bit disarmed in that area. But I interrupted. My apologies.
No problem. I assumed that these favours would just be for jobs within the city, or would they take us without?
Depends. If you're on urgency and you want a job in the city, I can have a few rustled up. If you're looking for ones that maybe take further afield but might be easier or more to your skill set, I'm sure I can think of something.
I will think on it at this particular moment. Before we leave, you have my answer.
Very well. I will remind you again, just out of my courtesy and graces, I won't charge you straight away if you don't want to pay up front. I can charge you later. You've got a nice horse and a set of armour. I could put some time in if you want. But the rest of you all have your own interests, I take it. 6 of you came to the city and 4 of you entered. That can't be a coincidence, I'm sure.
I just followed these 2. I was guiding him. I don't need anything.
Nothing at all. No information, no nothing. No whereabouts of a public enemy or maybe someone looking to help you. No names, no nothing.
I don't think I have any enemies. I mean, there's just me and Sicania, really.
There are some powerful contacts who might be able to look into that for you. I'm sure I can give you their information and my personal name if you'd be interested. Would cost, of course.
Look to Sicania.
Well, I imagine you don't know much about it.
Huh, no. No, I don't. Huh. I mean, okay, that'd be interesting to know.
It'd cost you. Not sure how much. I'd have to get in contact with them to see if they'd be interested. The more they're interested, the cheaper it'll be.
Okay. Well, I mean, depending on what everyone else decides to do. Yeah. Depends.
I'm gonna look I assume I can let you see a form that looks like Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look towards Vinny. And try and sort of give her, so what are we doing? Sort of look.
Yeah, I'll meet the guys and then. Well, as for me, I came to this city following the trail of a particular individual. Now, I'm quite certain they came through,
Aye, they did.
and relatively sure that they left again, and in what direction.
Can't say that last bit. That'd cost you. But I know they left a trail.
What I'd be really interested in is whether they found what they were looking for.
That is an interesting question. One that I can either dig up or one that I might have stored away. Well, you've got plenty on your plate, I'll say you that much. As a courtesy of my own graces, and because my prices are higher than my other competitors, if you want any directions or mundane information, I can pass on some bits and pieces.
I suspect you'll know where we wish to stay anyway, because you're a man of information. You will find out. You'll find ways.
Depends. There's a lot of places in the city that are nice.
We were trying to find our way to the Firefly Stairs.
Ah, you weren't far off. I'll have my associate take you back there once he's done having his little break out there. Once he takes you back to the main thoroughfare, continue on. It's the third window in. The windows for out-of-towners are the cylinders that cut to the sky.
Ah, I see.
Firefly Stacks is a nice place. Say hello to Nightlight for me when you see her.
I'll be sure to do so. Not that I'll know who to refer to, but
Oh, apologies, him.
I'll
Oh,
say the agency said hello.
thank you.
Is it Nightfly?
Nightlight.
Nightlight.
Right. Okay. Actually, there is one thing that I would like some more information on if you have contacts that can find it.
Hmm.
Black slimes.
He looks at you with a quizzical look for a moment. Understood. I think I know
Thank you.
some. A few people who might be interested for too much for their depth. Others who might be more informative. And one who might be able to help you gravely, for good or for bad. He's working right now, from what I understand, but I can get in contact with him. If he hasn't caused trouble already.
Okay. Thank you. Noted.
That sort
when
of
we have our
information.
answer, I'll let you know.
Excellent. So, is that the end of our little engagement? Very well.
There's one thing I would like to know.
Of course.
Things about living experimentation.
You and your friend Cat might have a similar contact once he's done with his business.
Understood.
Right. Well, what's your answer there, Sir Damian, I'm going to assume.
Nah, he called you out.
We did. It's a bit late for that cat. Pay attention.
If it matches my skill sets, I am willing to do a job for you.
Very well. I'll have it written up within the hour.
We will be waiting at the Firefly Stacks.
I'll have one of my lot go over and deliver it for you.
Thank
He
you.
nods. The information will be delivered to you upon completion. He
It
nods
shall be done.
and then gestures as you otherwise hear the door unlock. As he gestures for you all to leave.
I will begin to guide Damian back out again.
And as I stand up ready to be guided out, I nod back in the direction that I think he's in.
Okay. Vinny?
Very well. I'll stand up to go. So, do you have the information I'm looking for?
I do. Along with more that you might be interested in. But you might have to pick a side within your friends to get some of it. We'll have to see, though. He gives you kind of a curt nod. One of more respect than anything else.
And you want a job done in return for it, I suppose?
Can do. I know your reputation and your skill set, Vinny.
I'm sure you do.
Or should I say, I know whose skill set you used to use it for. He may never have mentioned he came back this far. So I'll do you one trade before you go. Tell me how he died. And I'll give you some information.
I'm going to pull out the sword. And hold it out so that you can see.
Okay. Are you holding it blade with your hand on the blade, or?
Yeah, I'm holding it like horizontally, so one hand on the handle,
Okay.
the other on the blade.
Okay. As you go and you draw the blade, you watch his hand immediately shoots up, and you watch as the two corners of the room shift and then set back into place. You were never alone. As you hold
To be expected.
to be expected. As you hold the blade out to him, he looks up at the blade. Interesting. He was never a close friend, but he was someone I admired for his work. Done several jobs with him before. I see you carry his legacy with you now. Don't know how much is in there. Don't know how much is in there, but I'll tell you this. If you're looking for Red, he'll have the information you want, but he's not where you want him to be. He's got himself into a bad spot. You can ask for him, just be careful.
I don't see that I have much of a choice.
He nods and gestures for you to be dismissed.
By the way, if you know so much about me, you know there are some things I won't use my skills for, right?
I'm aware. Shame that such time won't be wasted on such things, but I'm glad that you have an honest life. Some of us try and fail in this city. Granted, I'm not one of them. But still.
Well, that's your business. Just make sure you pick a job that's appropriate.
Of course.
Very well. I will turn to leave.
Okay. You turn to leave.
Did the figures in the corner of the room actually become visible at any point, or did it just become apparent that they were there?
It became apparent that they were there. They were almost shadows within shadows. And for your
Just
dark...
as
Go on.
Sorry, no, you finish first.
I was going to say, almost as if with your dark vision trying to look at them, they are blending perfectly with the surroundings of their background. To a point that you suspect even if there was proper light in this room, it wouldn't be enough to properly reveal them. They are blending to a very, very expertly, otherwise trained level.
Okay. I will leave.
Okay. As you do, the door closes behind you and locks, and the form looks to you, Kay. I assume you're looking for work, given you're still in here with the others not knowing.
Yes.
Well then, let's discuss. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session tonight. And we will have this conversation at the beginning of next session, Kay. When hopefully it will be less loud for you.
I really hope so.
So, with our party otherwise gotten some wonderful information at the cost of some very dangerous prices, the party have otherwise prepared themselves for the oncoming adventures of new tasks at hand in exchange for information. Eventually, I imagine they'll earn themselves some gold and eventually do what they need to do. But for now, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And we will see you all next week when we carry on with this. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.